Oh, that's good.
Michael, I disagree with you. I think women can be watchmakers. Okay. And
So
here we are.
This
Here
looks
we are
familiar,
again.
doesn't it? It looks fairly familiar, except for the view from Alex.
yeah, he's changed it around. He's got some cats in the shot.
Yep. And so this was like, what was it, like 6 months ago, where I was just like this.
Every 5 minutes.
Just gonna be back in a second, guys. Be back in a second.
No, I didn't say anything.
Real
Like this.
authentic.
Keep it authentic.
I haven't watched the end of it for ages.
I think there was something that really triggered me when Rob was banging on about something.
I
think I looked up and I was like this. Yeah, I think that's my cue. This is just this is just too much now.
I was banging on about something. That doesn't happen.
I don't know. You have to look back, watch it, and look at my reaction to something you're saying. And I think it's like the alcohol's hitting me, and you're talking shit about something, and I'm just like, yeah, it's time.
So it wasn't really the alcohol. Is that what you're saying? It was Rob.
No, it was definitely the alcohol.
Have that effect on people.
Yeah.
People got to go. Anyway.
So how's everyone been?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Yes.
We've almost got a booze sponsor, which is very exciting, even though Rob is still very confused. But you won't be able to show that on screen anymore, Rob, once we get this.
That's why I'm doing it now. So I'm making the best of it.
Whacker. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, can we talk about it, or we can't yet?
Yeah. Well, we haven't tried this stuff yet, but yeah, you can talk about it. Have you had a look at the website or the Instagram or anything?
No, I haven't. Hey, sorry. Just is this microphone in the way? Is this going to bug the shit out of you guys, or?
No.
It's terrible. Most podcasts you see, there's a big mic sitting there. Mine's just off camera, and
it's too big glass in the way, and then people won't notice.
Just put my glass in front of my microphone too.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. Is it potential, or it's actually happening?
Well, as long as the stuff tastes nice, yeah, I think
Can I use it to mix my dark and stormies?
Yeah,
good.
That's right. That's right. I haven't got the Instagram though, so you're gonna have to share it with me.
It is Milton Rum Distillery. Milton.
Yep. Oh, cool.
And he's called Alexander as well, so it's meant to be.
Meant to be.
Their company logo is a bird, much like ours is a chicken.
Yeah.
They're a small artisan rum maker.
Well, they're going to stay small if I keep giving it away.
Shh. No, we listen to this, Rob.
We're gonna help them. We're gonna join forces and
it's going to go nuts.
Yep. Milton Rum, awesome.
And he liked the podcast I sent him of Rob and I beating up disabled people. So if they love that,
yep, exactly.
He's got a good sense of humor.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's.
I can't wait to try some of their fine nectar.
I'm afraid it's only for regular podcasters, Michael, because you're only in a part-time 3 episodes a year.
Right, because I've got my own, and then I'm on 2.5, and then I'm on popcorn.
Spreading yourself thin.
Is that not enough?
Yeah. Are you a regular on popcorn now? Have you got your own slot?
No, I wouldn't say that, but there should be another one coming out soon with there should be another one coming out soon. So yeah.
Too famous.
Just too much of me. You know?
Okay. You're made out of chocolate, eat yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have maybe you can have one of those little travel bottles of rum then. I think they do those as well. We'll get you one of those.
Yeah, okay. We'll start off. We'll start off with that. Yeah. In fact, I've got something similar tonight for my drink check.
we do good drink checks. Not that it's far be it from me to take over the running of this thing, but
well, look,
who's running it anyway?
When we're doing drink checks, where is it eventually just going to be Milton?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And anyone
happy
else
to do that.
that mentions anything else, we'll need to bleep that out.
No, there is a little button on the on next to their name that basically says kick them out.
Yeah, we'll have to pixelate them and whatever they're drinking.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Very good. Yeah, well, I'm keen. Keen to
that
try
sounds
it.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on in your head there, Alex? You're thinking a lot.
Oh, is it just because I'm doing this?
You're just like, is this something?
I don't think there's much going on there in there at all.
No, there's not. There's not. There really isn't. I'm just thinking, it's slim pickings for watches tonight.
Hang on, we haven't even done drink check.
No, I know. I'm just thinking ahead. But I remember Michael said he had some very important stuff to talk about.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't very important, but I wanted to discuss it. It's an interesting topic.
Well, we'll get to that later, Michael. Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's just calm down.
Yeah, let's take a minute and just
chill.
Yeah.
Is my mute working? Don't know. Okay. Good.
And because I can't plug this in and use the mic and the headphones, we can't go for like too long. Like I've got 90-something% still on the laptop.
Yeah, but that's what happened last time. Then 3 minutes later, you were going off.
What?
No.
Oh no, because I switched to.
You switched to.
I don't know what happened. AirPods or something.
Intranets.
I don't know. But I'm not set up for that tonight. But anyway, I'll let you know if we're getting close, and we can wrap it up. Just so
at
we
the
don't
end
lose
of it, we'll just all be hammered anyway, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
Are you drinking White Russian?
Wait a minute here. Wait a minute.
Whoa, hold on.
It's kind of nice.
I can't see it.
Being able to see your faces, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I think it is nice. So
not to see yours. No, I don't want to see yours.
What have you guys been up to this week?
I have been. If I go first, I have been mostly trying to recuperate with this back injury. So doing a little bit of work, a little bit of everything, just less and slower. So that's me taking a lot of. And I mentioned the other day that my first 2.5 Watchmakers episode. I don't know if it was actually called that at the time, but the first time it was us three.
Yeah.
I had the similar sort of back injury, and I was taking lots of painkillers and drinking Negronis and having a good time. And I think I'd just abused Charles Turl over Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean we were all good after it, but yeah, that was the first 2.5 Watchmakers. That was about a year ago.
Is that long, really?
Yeah,
that's right, because he'd used Jedley or something as his
Jedley
recommendation, and you sent him a text message telling him to get fucked or something.
Yeah, basically, or suck it. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
So that's why I'm actually standing right here for this. Yeah, just so I don't want to sit down for too long with my current back, the state of my back. So,
what drugs are you on?
I'm on. I can't remember the names of them. They're so complicated these days. Like, there's a slow release anti-inflammatory. There's I'm on Panadine Fort.
AstraZeneca.
Occasional endone at night, just to relax.
Endone, is that the good one? Is that an opiate?
Yeah, I think so.
I've still got Tramadol, which is like the step down from morphine I got for my kidney stones, and they're sitting there in the drawer.
That's amazing that they're just sitting there in the drawer.
I know, and I haven't taken any of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, like that's unlike you.
I keep on thinking I'll save them for a special occasion, but you're not allowed to consume them with alcohol, which pretty much rules out means I'd have to take them like before I go to work in the morning or something. Which actually,
Yeah.
now I think about it, could be a good idea.
Great idea.
Well, I can drink less on this podcast with the current drugs I'm on because they have the alcohol has a greater effect on them. So yeah, that's one bonus. What about you guys? So what's been happening in your worlds this week?
I'm on no drugs.
Nope. I met up with Roman at the weekend on Saturday. Took him to Oscar Cooper, took him to my breakfast place. Or sorry, I should say he took me to my breakfast place because he paid for breakfast. He still hasn't told me how much it was, but yeah, I started drinking margaritas at 9:30, and I think we left at like 1. And he was going to his mum and dad, so I can't imagine what condition he turned up at his mum and dad's at. But yeah, it was good.
I saw the two Calibricas together.
Yeah. It was great to see. I'd never seen his one before, so it was really nice just to see his dial color and have those two together. Yeah, and I had a celebrity watch today.
Did
you? Work at Danny Wellington, and it said VIP. So I looked the person up, and it was an Aussie rules footballer.
Oh,
okay. Look, good. I'm good.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Was he a Geelong player?
When I saw it, he wasn't a Geelong player. I remember that. And when I looked at the watch, I was like, God, if this is the watch you can get once you become an Aussie rules footballer, it doesn't really encourage people to become Aussie rules footballers. Stay in school, kids.
Well, I haven't done what I keep saying this. Well, it was Mother's Day on, so I went out on Friday and got a heap of stuff, cheeses and special breads and stuff, cheeses and meat and stuff, and made a big platter. I got a kilo of Gruyere cheese, which is a thing about that long and about that thick, going down to the wedge. Yeah. That was a centerpiece. And bottle of champagne. We had like a long brunch, a brunch that kind of lasted, well, just lunch, but a really long one. Out the back, because it was a beautiful day. It's nice and warm. What's the weather like over there? Bad, I hope.
It was really the weather was really nice on Saturday because Roman was getting burnt in the sun.
Yeah. Same. No, it was good. It was nice all weekend. No, it's good, but pretty not that exciting. I caught up with a mutual friend of ours, Alex, when was that? Last week? Yeah.
We covered that in the last episode, did we not?
Did we? No, we didn't. No.
Okay.
Not on Zoom, I don't think.
It wasn't on Zoom, no.
No. That's what we did too. Forgot about that. That's all really.
Okay.
Yeah, Mother's Day was good over here, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see my mother. She's too far away, which is fine.
Yeah.
Did you call your mother?
Nah, not yet. You mean for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Nah. I called a couple of weeks ago. So
that's close enough.
Yeah. Same month.
You didn't call your mother for Mother's Day?
No.
I didn't call my mum for Mother's Day either, but I've got this kind of luckily, I'm like, there's a British Mother's Day and an Australian Mother's Day.
Exactly.
So I don't know when to call.
Well, I wasn't sure it was Mother's Day over East either. So that's my excuse. I can play that card. I wasn't sure.
You have to call if it's over there. That's the rule.
Oh, do you?
So if it's Mother's Day over there where your mum is, then you call.
I think it was Mother's Day in Switzerland. I think my wife called her mum. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought it was just Australia and the United States that had Mother's Day.
I thought so too. But...
well, no. Switzerland, well, I think they do some funny little things on their own. They're not European, and I'm pretty. Because I asked her, I thought it was a different Mother's Day. She said, "No, it's the same." I think it was Mother's Day we're talking about. Anyway,
I actually got a message from Michael's sister to say she was angry that I said that she told me Michael calls her 10 times a day to say he's lonely, and that it was going to jeopardize her chances of getting a good birthday present or something. So
Yeah, because I was listening to your. I finally got around to listening to your latest episode, and I heard you say something like, "Oh, I think I was half asleep at the time," and I remember hearing you say something like, yeah, Michael's so bored that he like calls his sister like 8 times a day or something." And I thought that was hilarious. I just thought I'll send a message to my sister, and I just say, "This is what I just heard," and then I went to sleep. And she was messaging back saying, "What? Are you kidding me?" Like, and then I wasn't messaging her back, obviously. So she thought I was like, she probably thought I was upset. Yeah. So and then I found the message the next morning, and I'm like, no, that's actually hilarious. Don't worry about it.
Thought she'd fallen out with me.
No. She thinks it's great. She was when I'd mentioned that I was coming down for the paintball, which I ended up missing. And the Friday night, I could see that she was a little bit jealous from the whole community thing and getting together and doing all that. So
like me, like I'm jealous.
Exactly, a bit like you, yeah. Because as soon as I mentioned, I was at the shop, and as soon as I mentioned it, you could see her ears prick up and sort of move over, like, what's happening? So I'm so pissed off. I missed that.
And you missed Charith on Friday night as well.
Oh my goodness, I could see it. I could see it coming. Yeah, he was into it. He was ready for that night. Like
he wasn't ready for that.
I could see it in his eyes. He was excited. So there's no surprise that he had a big one.
Okay, how long are we going? I came on to Zoom beforehand and changed the settings so I can see now how long we've been recording for. Can you?
We can't.
That? Oh, can you?
No,
not? Oh.
No, I don't think so.
I can't see.
No.
Well, we've been going for 33 minutes, so we can probably do a wrist check.
Yep.
Check.
It's wrist check. Yep.
Mute checks. Is that mute working?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got to check my mute because I cough and clear my throat a lot.
Yeah.
Does what does the space bar do? Does that do mute?
It's lucky we're not actually putting this on YouTube, isn't it? This is like it seems like a frigging test run at the moment.
No, this is definitely going on YouTube because I was just thinking.
I know.
Do you think it depressed people? They see just me in my dressing gown. They're like, oh.
No, man. This is
authentic.
Authentic, genuine.
It's
yep.
Basically the desire to be authentic just gives us permission to do whatever the hell. Like it doesn't matter really.
Yep. Exactly. If I get wasted and just end and go away and go sleep on that couch over there again, that's okay. That's part of it. That's just us being real. All right. So wrist checks, yeah? Do you want me to go first? All right. Omega Constellation Paipan dial with the beads of rice bracelet.
It's a beautiful watch, Michael. I've seen that watch, haven't I? I have seen that watch, yeah.
I think you have, yeah. Love it.
I think that's up there with Rob's Vespa watch.
Yeah, that's a cool watch, the Vespa. Yeah.
Right, I had it on today.
Am I doing a drink check or are we just doing wrist check?
Cheating.
It's up to Rob's.
No, all wrist checks. I mean, all drink. What are we doing?
All checks.
Well, your drink check was supposed to be first. You did a wrist check. You jumped the gun.
Okay,
cool. We'll do wrist checks then.
Yeah, do wrist checks. Cool.
I've got. Wait for it. Drum roll. The 2.5 watchmakers watch.
Oh.
But
someone's got it.
I'm also double wristing. I got a Landy blue.
Blue. Nice.
The blue. I haven't worn this one, I don't think. For the blue.
It's a beautiful dial.
Can you put that up closer, Rob?
No.
I want to see it.
Sure, it's not the right way. You can't get the colors.
No. Yeah, I just wanted to see the general design. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, how thick is it? It's
not very. It's just a basin, really nice basin. Design case.
Nice.
Just under 40 mil. The back's really cool as well. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, that's right. That looks fun.
It is fun. It's a really fun watch. But it's pure all enamel dial.
Yep.
With that blue grainfire enamel, and it's not the most expensive model, but it's not the cheapest one either by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's me. Actually, I'll just tell you the tide in Honolulu. Can't see the freaking thing. It's sort of medium, medium and rising. So yeah.
I've got my Seiko
tell us.
tuna,
Oh, nice.
which I've got on today because I finally Ed South Slope NYC finally got his one that I sent him. The second one I sent him after I sent him the empty box the first time. Finally got it. So I actually had it on yesterday as well, but he got his one today. So I'm now watch twinning with Ed, and I've got it on a lovely asbestos-free Tell Your Time.
Tell Your Time.
Yeah, he's got some nice straps.
It was cool.
Shout out to Ed and Vinny.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I wore the 2.5 Watchmakers watch because none of you flipping drop kicks did.
We always do it though, man. Someone has to, one of us, and we don't figure it out. We don't
know.
Work it out beforehand.
Just don't know.
Just one person.
I had mine on at paintball, and actually after I was talking about that on the episode that's lost forever, it does have that same kind of dirt paintball splatter
as Daniel
on it,
Craig's,
like Daniel Craig's one, which went for only $10,000, I believe, was the final result that we came. So I just remember now that joke I sent last night about the person on the tram. Yeah, but it's got all dirt and stuff on it, so I might give that to Michael, and Michael can give me his 2.5 Watchmakers one. Then he can still be part of the paintball somehow. You can put it away and keep it forever.
So you got dirt on it. You didn't get? Did you get paint on it as well?
No, it's paint. Yeah, it's paint. Paint and dirt and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, we've got to do that again at some stage, so I can actually be involved.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think we're doing go-karting next for Rock Fest 4. Yeah.
Cool.
In Perth.
We should do something. Listen, Michael and I, as soon as Michael's fit to sit on his Harley for 12 hours or however long the journey is, we'll be right over.
12 hours?
It's longer than that, man.
You get halfway, yeah?
Yeah.
Good, okay.
We wouldn't just have sore backs. We'd have fucking sore asses.
What do you drink? What are you finishing off drinking there then?
I've got White Russian, which is Finlandia vodka. And I was having White Russian earlier, and I was using up the last of another bottle of vodka I had, and I looked at it and it said made in Vietnam. I didn't even realize you get vodkas made in Vietnam. That shows you the quality of the alcohol I consume. All the best vodka is made in Vietnam, they say. So
not that one though.
Like watch parts. No, this is made in Finland. But I'll just
Well, they've got a really good watchmaking school there, so Vietnam's up and coming.
Yeah,
that's Cambodia.
Yeah, Cambodia. That's right.
Next door. It's okay.
And I'm drinking with it Farmhouse Gold.
Oh, that's the best.
Creamy one. The creamiest.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. It's like a meal in
itself.
Yeah. And I have a backup Wakachangi.
Right. The only one that doesn't have a whacker.
If I run out of the
rest
of the stuff. But it's so cold, I can just have this milk out. Because that's how,
yeah, it's cold back here at the moment.
It's warm over here.
It's even cooler in Colac, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got, I'm starting off with a Jameson. And then my old mate, good friend, legend, Grey Whiskey on Instagram. He came for another visit and dropped me over a few little sample whiskeys basically. And this one, he gave me 3 this time, like last time. This one I'm going to try tonight. I'll pour it soon after I finish this Jameson. Is Archie Rose, and it's an Australian whiskey. And this is made with San Diego Heritage Rye Malt. So, yeah, Aussie whiskey. So,
does he
Gray.
make whiskey? Maybe
no, he has a his Instagram is like Grey Whiskey. It's just all whiskeys basically, and he's got a blog as well, just on whiskey. So he tries all the whiskeys and then writes about them and stuff. So yeah, go check out Grey Whiskey on Instagram. I can't remember the website.
Is watchmaking the best profession for getting booze from people?
Sounds like it.
Good
If your name's
question.
Michael Woods.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot. Well, I think people are just getting to know me more, and that's like this is the way to his heart. Let's bring some alcohol, you know.
There's a way to never get my watch back. 3 months later, like I'm probably going to hold off on giving Michael any more booze because
yeah. So yeah, and so there's another one. There's an 18-year-old Irish whiskey he gave me, which I'll try another night, and a single malt Scotch, a Hazelburn 13-year-old. So yeah, he's got some good stuff, really good stuff.
Okay,
thanks, Gray.
And they're good little sizes as well. Those things,
yeah, exactly.
Great for just drinking while you're on public transport or on the bike.
You can just go in the pocket. Yep.
At the park with the kids. Yeah, any of that kind of stuff.
I'm going to pour it now. I'm going to clean out this glass so that it's not, so I can get the full taste.
Oh, he's gone already. That's the first time.
Just going to go and just having a lie down, guys. My back's.
Where's he gone?
Well,
I should have mixed those whiskeys.
He's not coming back. Here we go.
I've only kicked off with Wakachangi. Wakachangi. Great Uncle Kenny's amazing Wakachangi lager, quite nice beer. But I've got my proper.
There it is.
Waiting, my dark and stormy.
Yeah,
I can't. Your thing has become. It's going to quickly become as famous as my pint of red wine now. That jar of yours.
Well, it's just handy.
Yeah.
I don't care if it becomes famous. I just like the size because you don't have to get refills all the time, and it's just the right sort of size for our podcast, really.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's simple. Like me, I like simple things in life. Simple drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite nice.
Ooh, that's good.
So is that good?
Ooh,
I should crack one of these. This Portwood
great.
21 year one too.
21.
This is still left over from that 7 Friday thing.
Oh,
right. Watchfest. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting taste. Wow.
That's not good.
No, that's
not
good.
a good sign from Michael.
That is good.
It's like
that is really good. I'd never heard of Archie Rose whiskey.
I've heard about Archie Rose. Can I take this watch off now? The 2.5 Watchmakers watch.
Yeah.
It's on my right wrist. It's sort of.
Man, you convinced us to buy it, and now you're just like, I hate wearing this thing.
I love it.
Such a quick turnaround when he started talking about that watch out of nowhere. It's the only time it's ever happened. He's like the color, and you could imagine being in a store when Rob was selling watches. He's just like, I mean, the color is just it's not really
amazing.
any color, is it? It's more a feeling. So why don't we all get one and be friends forever? Like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take $500,000 Richard Mule, please.
Yeah. And then we're going to go out and drink and celebrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah, my G-Shock is meant basically for going for Fifth Wrist paintball, which I missed, or I'll wear it go-karting, I reckon. But these sort of activities.
I wear mine for squash, and I played squash this afternoon about 3 hours ago, and I didn't actually wear it. But that's usually when I wear it once a week for squash.
Well, at least you wear it quite frequently, anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this one off actually because this is almost new. This strap, I've got my strap on it, but
Is squash your main hobby, Rob?
main sort of physical. I wouldn't say hobby. Is that a sport or a hobby?
I don't know. Michael, do you have any hobbies?
apart from riding your Harley.
No,
riding
hobby.
bikes.
That's
Yeah,
not a
riding
hobby.
bikes. Well, it's a pastime.
Well, yeah, you know what? I've been into bikes for years in general, even if it's just looking at them on YouTube or studying different bikes. I suppose it's a little bit of a hobby. Basketball, I don't know, man.
Your basketball days are done now. It's just all watching now, isn't it?
2018, I was much worse than this. Like that's when I lost feeling in my foot and all that, and I still went back and played. So yeah, this is nothing. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
That's the spirit. That's what Diego Maradona said, and he's about to start playing five-a-sides any day soon. So it's like 2018 was a bad year, but 2021.
I've got less hobbies these days. There's no room for it with the kids. Like watches take up a lot of time. If I'm not working on them, I'm reading about them or I'm
lusting over them.
Yeah, yep.
Looking at them on Chrono 24.
Yep,
that's what I was thinking. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and the people were talking about like what their hobbies were, or they were trying to pinpoint their hobbies. And I was like, oh, what hobbies do I have? Yeah. I couldn't even think of anything like remotely close to being a hobby.
No.
Cats.
I like fishing, but I just don't do it often enough.
Anymore. Same. I want to, but yeah.
Yep. I took the kids like a few weeks ago. But yeah, it's not that often. I suppose I will more as I get older, but yeah.
Well, you're getting older.
Yeah, you won't be able to sit by the banks of the fine Colac River and fish if your back's bad.
I'd say
they'll wheel you there, and then they'll leave you there for half an hour, and then they'll wheel you back.
I'd say by the next episode, I'll be fighting fit. I'll be fine. Yep.
I do heaps of snorkeling in the summertime, but it's not sort of summer's almost over here, so
okay.
Heaps not every weekend, but almost with the kids, and a bit of the old body, board, not surfing, but proper surfing, but like those bodyboard type, things. With the kids as well, did that a bit. And surf. And sometimes we do both same. There's a spot where we go where we can go snorkeling in a big spot and then go across the other side of the rocks and go 200 meters and surf. So it's quite cool. Do that a fair bit in summer.
That's definitely a hobby.
It's hot. Is it? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking you're big into reading. That's a hobby.
Yeah, I read a lot.
I'm big into watching movies. That's a hobby. I was going through a stretch. I was competing with Charith for a while. Like I was pretty much watching one movie every night, and then I just like dropped off, and he just took over. He and
he's serious.
Recently I think he was doing 10 a week, so averaging more than one a day for a while.
I think that's him every week.
Yeah,
I think you just jumped into his
there was
stream
no way
for a while. You can't.
Yep, can't keep up. Yep.
I started watching that movie you talked about, Alex. The Good, Bad, and the Weird.
Oh yeah,
It's certainly weird.
When did I talk about that? That must be.
I don't know.
That's like ages ago.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah.
Okay. Is this when you jokingly say, "Wait a minute, I'm taking notes here"? You were actually taking notes. Is that
no, I wasn't. It come to me afterwards, and I thought, "Oh, I watched this," and it was I haven't finished it yet. I'm halfway through.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, it's kind of it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be my favorite. You said it was in your top 5.
How many drinks I had? I don't even remember having this conversation. So
yeah, I don't remember hearing it.
I don't even know what movie you're talking about.
Was it on a podcast or?
I don't know. I don't know where it was. It was definitely you. It was definitely you.
The Good, Bad, and Weird, I think is a great movie. I really like it. It's like it's kind of like an Indiana Jones film. They don't really make those.
It's a takeoff of the Americans, like sort of spaghetti westerns, basically a bit.
Right.
Yeah, Good, the Bad, the Ugly. That was the music and everything, and I've seen a few of those kind of things. It was just it's okay. I can see why you liked it. You would like it.
What about Men and Chicken? Have you watched that yet?
I haven't watched that yet.
Men and Chicken.
Yeah.
Is that about Fifth Wrist?
No, it could be. It's very good.
It's hard to find it. It's hard to even like. It's the preview
Hang on.
at least is
Taking
on.
notes here. Hang on.
The preview at
Right.
least is on YouTube, but it's
Men
hard to
and
find
Chicken.
the actual movie.
It's got what's his
I'm
face?
going to write this down.
Is it Mads Mikkelsen?
Oh, that guy. I want to
What's
see the
that?
new one. I want to see that new one with Mads Nicholson, the alcohol one.
Oh yeah, that's a.
What's that one called?
Yeah, that's
Last round or something like that.
Oh,
or-
yeah.
that looks really good. Yeah, I want to see that. Have you seen Eurovision yet, Rob?
No, sorry.
Man.
Can't bring myself to it.
Yeah.
I love Will Ferrell, but I even had to turn it off. It was
Oh, did you? Yeah.
yeah, it was
Oh man.
it was too much. Like he does a lot of good stuff, but sometimes it's just
Yeah.
He does a lot of bad stuff too.
he does a lot of bad stuff as well. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't know. I
no,
don't know if he
no,
does.
he does. He does. Yeah, he does. You lost that shootout. It was just nah.
No way.
Yeah, lost like well and truly.
No way.
The wedding singer. What else was there? Anyway,
Oh, did you hear the one I did with Bryn? It was a dime piece.
no, I haven't yet. Actually,
Oh, is
Yeah,
that when she
so-
cancelled you?
Oh,
you
yeah,
said
yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah, that was. I dominated that one.
who cancelled you?
Bryn. I was getting a little bit. I was talking about Charith's skin color at one stage, and then she just conveniently dropped out, and I thought she'd cancelled me, but she. No.
Okay,
but-
talk about skin color.
Not the way you guys do. No.
No.
Okay.
No, but I dominated that episode easily.
Michael, you
Well,
think you dominate all of them though?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
While we're here,
Well,
why
we're here.
don't we slip into the friendly independence corner?
Let's do that.
Can't wait. I thought you'd never ask.
This is we almost didn't have an independence corner, but thankfully Sean, the book watcher, posted something in the Slack group. If you want it in the Slack group, email us contact@fifthwrist.com. Can you guys see this?
No.
No.
I think
I can see your corner. You shifted your camera so you got the corner in the background. Is that the independent corner?
Yeah, that's the corner. That's the corner.
Right.
It's the corner over there. Yeah,
It's not even a proper corner.
it is. No, you open that door and then it's just
Oh,
a corner. That's the
Well, the-
independence. Actually, you
well,
know
the-
what? Next time we do this, same way I've got the Stevie Briggy Heritage Suite sign
That's the
on Michael's room.
put a little sign.
I'll have independence corner there.
I'm disappointed you haven't already. But okay.
Okay.
Okay, what's on the independence
Let's do
corner?
it. Let's do Independence Corner.
Have you got the link open?
The
What
Corso one,
link?
the pink one?
Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
pink?
that happened.
Where is the link?
Oh, you're
Sorry.
colorblind. You would never clue.
Don't start this colorblind shit again.
Where is the link?
That was so
It's in
funny.
it's in the chat in here, Michael.
Wow. Oh, hang on. All right. Yeah, this is just like Slack. Yeah. Oh, chat. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
The colorblind
You had that in-
issue.
You had that in ages ago, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. Here
Yeah.
we go. Oh, okay. I haven't seen this.
Is this more? Maybe this is more micro than independent, but
What do we know the person's? Do we know the name of the person that released it?
no. But what did Sean say about it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it could be both, couldn't it? If it's independent and micro brand, but yeah,
The micro corner doesn't. It's not as catchy.
yeah.
What are you after our comments on this?
Yeah.
It's a bit pink.
So
It
it is
is.
pink.
That is pink,
Yeah, it
Alex.
is
Yes,
pink.
I can
But I
confirm
thought
it's
you
pink.
guys were just taking the piss.
pink,
Sean says loving this probably mostly because of the grayscale contrasted with pink.
Right. I'm gonna have to have another look.
Where's
at
the pink?
So the pink.
Why is it pink?
That's so funny. So the subdials. That is hilarious, Alex. So the subdials are pink.
But
the
they're different
subdials
shades of
and-
pink.
La
All different
Corsa,
shades.
La Corsa Rosa is written in pink, and the chronograph second hand
Okay.
is pink.
La Corsa Rosa looks pink to me. The subdials all look white.
Right.
The
They're lighter
chrono
pink.
hand looks white. Maybe
Well,
it's
to
just
me-
a bad photograph again. I
And
think it's maybe a bad
it's
photograph.
perfect. The pink at the 3 o'clock counter is actually darker pink. The 6
It
o'clock is
is.
a bit lighter, and then the 9 o'clock is lighter again. So
Yeah.
you know, in all fairness, they are sort of confusing.
I don't know if they've taken that from Zenith, where they've got three different shades of pink. Like Zenith have got 3 different shades of blue on my El Primero, but yeah, 3 different shades of pink. The 9 o'clock one is almost white. 3 o'clock is really pink, and then the 6 o'clock is like in between. And then you've got pink chronograph seconds and pink La Corsa Rosa. That's interesting that you can't see that. I'm fascinated by
that was brilliant.
This is like when Michael get his kids on the phone or something to me and be like, Mr. Colvin, can you see colors?
Yeah, they were fascinated by it as well.
Really?
And when we were in the pub that day, and I was like, really? And like, so what does that look like?
No.
And I'm like, I was just like, this is incredible.
It was actually like meeting a little kid. It was honestly what it was like.
And then the other night, I was on the phone with my WASTEP teacher.
Again.
Yeah, we're talking a lot, and he just mentioned that he's colorblind. I'm like, I've known this guy for ages, and I never knew this. And 60% colorblind in one eye, 40% in the other, or something. So it's probably not as colorblind as you, but yeah.
How do you work out the percentages?
Yeah, well, is there a percentage of colorblindness?
Don't know. You got a test or something, but yeah.
Okay.
So,
that was so funny. The episode. You know, I just couldn't stop. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I know, that was so good. Where you just
it's strange. It's come up in like 2 episodes now, where it's not normally. I didn't even realize I was colorblind until I had an argument with someone about the Ultraman. I thought the Ultraman hand was red, and people kept on calling it orange, and I was like, "Listen, you fuckwits!
Listen,
I work for Daniel Wellington. I think I know what color the watch is." And then somebody else is like, "No, that's orange," and I was like, "No, you're a fuckwit as well." It turned out it was orange.
Are you serious? It's only then you found out you were colorblind?
Yeah.
Goodness, man.
And then when I told my mom's like, yeah, I should have known. Whenever you were at school and you'd come home and you'd draw things and you'd be like, here, I drew this dog, and it'd be like a purple dog, and the it's like, well, thanks for that information now, Mum. That's been really, really helpful now that I'm 40.
So this watch, it's nice enough looking. It would be nicer to you if you could actually see the pink properly. I think it's cool enough, but in the end, it's like a 7750.
Yeah,
it's got a printing over the clear case back, which is a I don't like so much.
It's a no.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be thick because it's got it's a Salida version of the 7750. I don't mind the dial actually. The different textures on the dial. I don't mind the look of the case, but I mean,
too thick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's priced well. It's 50 pieces. Like if you're after an entry level, like a micro brand / independent sort of, it's a cool watch. Like there's only 50 pieces. I think that the biggest selling point of it is it's a little unique with the pink, and it's also limited to 50 pieces. Otherwise, it could be like a lot of chronographs out there, really.
The 7750 thickness thing is just always such a big turn off for me. It really ruins so many watches.
Yeah.
I kind of like the dial, although there's too much text in the one bit. They really jammed all the text into that one position. I think there's a bit too much. Maybe
like Rolex.
Yeah, like a 12-liner Rolex. Yeah. Maybe lose the chronograph on the dial.
Talking about Rolex, how they do it, you sort of get used to it, but really, there is too much there still. We've become accustomed to seeing it there all the time.
You've become accustomed to seeing that.
Or maybe I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I still think you can have too much text on a dial.
Yeah.
This doesn't really shock me though. I mean, the top, at least it's nice having the top with that arc. More people should do that. Like the old ones used to a little. The chronograph, it's a bit redundant. If you're going to buy a chronograph, you know it's a chronograph. Why do you need chronograph written on the dial for? On any watch, really? Do you know? What?
You know what?
Good point.
I think you'd be surprised how
People
many
don't know it's a chronograph.
Watches come into places that I don't work, where the people are complaining about the second hand not working.
Yeah.
And
I haven't pressed the button.
have you ever had that,
no,
Michael?
I have
but
once.
I've heard of
once,
it.
actually, yeah.
And that old confusion
Chestnut?
between chronometer and chronograph
Yeah.
as well. Like, so you wonder if they, like, how did it used to go? People used to say chronometer and think that it should be a chronograph or something, or vice versa.
All the buttons have fallen off this watch. I bought it. It's supposed to be a chronograph. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, chronograph, it's not needed at all, actually, these days. That's yeah.
I knew someone who recently got a watch that was a manual wind chronograph, and the customer's complaining about they were wearing it all day and it wasn't holding any charge.
Jeez.
So
Takes all sorts. The customer is never right.
that's
Basically.
That's why you're not allowed to be near customers anymore, Rob.
No.
I think, you hear it all the time with sales staff just not educating the customers, though. I serviced a Breitling recently for someone, and he didn't want to wear this watch all the time because he was knocking it around. He was working on a farm, and he thought he had to wear it all the time just to keep it going. And when I gave it back to him, I said, this is how you manually wind it if you haven't worn it for a few days. And he's like, you can manually wind this as well. So he was wearing it just all the time because he got sick of putting it on occasionally and the thing had stopped. And it was, he just wanted to, like I said, no, let it stop. It doesn't matter. Don't wear it all the time. You don't have to wear it all the time. Just manually wind it and set the time and date when you need to. He was like, he'd had this for years, and he's like, I can't believe I'm only knowing this now. Like,
his wife's like, are you coming to bed? No, I need to keep this. Like, I'm going to take a couple of walks around the block. I'm concerned that it's going to... How much extra did you charge him to teach him how to use his watch? I think that's fair. Yeah. Stupidity tax. Yeah.
No, he's a good guy. I didn't rip him.
People, that's the thing. It's not their fault. It's what they get told when they're at the boutique.
These things shouldn't be taken for granted. The like, generally customers out there don't, like, there is still people that don't know that much about watches. So you've got to start from the basics, so.
Education.
And this is why people end up having bad experiences, because they get these things and they don't know that you have to wind them, or that you can wind them, or that you can't wind them. And then they end up thinking, oh, watches are crap. And then they chuck it in a drawer.
Sorry for that tangent. What's next?
I
love how Rob just sits back and says, next.
No, I'm we finished with the pink watch. Sorry.
On another podcast, you'd just be like, next.
How many Colacs out of 5 are we going to give this one?
Doesn't get much from me, I'm afraid.
It's about 1.5 for me.
Yeah, the only unique selling point is, I mean, if I was into bikes, the pink jersey, Guernsey, what they call it, maybe it's something to do with push bikes, right? There's a thing there. It's a cycling thing. I'm not into bikes, like I'm not into moon phases, so it won't get that many. Don't know.
That's a personal thing, but it's like,
leaves me cold. Just the pink thing. It's Danny. It gets half a point because of the pink thing. It's a big fat chrono with a Solitas. Yeah, well, I'm going to go 1.5, 2 max.
When is somebody going to bring out a better automatic chronograph movement, sold mass market, doesn't cost $1 million? Surely there's a market for that, because there's so many watches with these crappy 7750s in them.
Are there any others? I'm trying to think of some that are.
That's why I like this that seagull that was in that not Top Dog, Underdog watch.
What Underdog?
Remember the Underdog one? It was like crazy watermelon.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it's a cool. That is cool.
Yeah, and it had a seagull manual wind in it. Like, I'd rather have something like that in this and shave a bit off it.
I don't know if you try. I mean,
unless you've got a module, there's some fairly cheaper, like there's a fairly cost-effective modular chronographs out there, isn't there? There has been for
which
a long
is
time.
fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're right. There's not many. There's no integrated, cheaper integrated. Well, because they're so difficult to make, really.
Yeah, they're not.
Are
easy.
they? Or are they just not trying?
They're not easy.
A chronograph is difficult to develop. If you're gonna develop a new movement, that's difficult to develop. Really,
they've had a couple of 100 years. They should have been able to come up with something by now. Do you not think?
You do it, Alex. Come on, you do it. Come on.
And I'm gonna
Very busy.
I'm gonna segue into the Patek topic just slightly.
We're going to Patek topic.
I haven't given my Colac rating for this.
Okay,
what did you give it, Michael?
1.5.
Rob?
2.
2. Okay, God, generous.
No, actually,
Rob.
we'll leave the Patek for later. Yeah.
Later. It's too thick. I don't like the case back.
Yeah, case back's a big no.
The dial, I don't hate the dial, but it's still far from perfect. I think I'd give it 1. Sean's not going to like it, but yeah. Suck it, Sean. Suck it.
Sean's going to be very disappointed with us, but
he's not going to arrange the next Rob Fest 4 now. But listen, it's all about being authentic.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Close that tab, Rob. You close your tab yet?
I'll close Zoom here in a second. Whoop, close it. I'm gone. He's gone. Boom. Closed. Yes.
So do you want to talk about? You don't want to talk about?
No, we'll talk about it later. I was going to segue, but it wasn't really a segue.
You can make it a segue.
No.
You're good at those.
When are you going to segue it later? Have you got a planned segue?
I'm not going to segue it. We're just going to talk about Patek at one stage.
Okay.
I haven't even got a Patek one open. What am I doing with a Patek one?
No,
you know what? What we could do.
It was after I listened to your Robin the Regulator episode, and I was listening
to our shows, do you? Oh, that's nice.
Your show was one of the first I listened to, and I'd be piercing myself laughing.
One of the first.
As in, I can't remember which one it was. I went through all. Remember when I first started listening? I went through every Fifth Wrist episode that was released. Yeah, Robin the Regulator was one of them.
Did you hear the watch guy that was on Joe Rogan recently?
No.
I don't listen to Joe Rogan.
Watch the udon. Watch the ramen. Watch the ramen on
udon ramen. Same thing.
I actually spoke to him before about doing a review on the website, and he didn't. But he came on Joe Rogan and he started talking about the what's the Seiko chronograph called? The one that was named after an astronaut. Famous one.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
Don't know.
What's it called? God, all the Seiko guys will be pulling their hair out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Seiko guy.
He started talking about that. The Pogue, yeah. He started talking about that at the very beginning of the Joe Rogan thing, and he's actually quite a successful investigative journalist. And but yeah, he started off and he started talking about his Instagram. He's watched Instagram. I was like, sounds familiar. I think I've spoken to that guy before.
Had a nice chat.
I've had a nice chat with him before.
I'll have to listen to it. Yeah, I haven't listened to Joe Rogan in ages because since he moved over to Spotify, I'm not sure. I've tried to download his episodes to listen to when I'm out of the house, out of Wi-Fi, and it doesn't let you. Have you tried that? And I'm like, fuck this. He's gone. He's gone big time now. Too big time. You have to be on Wi-Fi to listen to the episode, or just use mobile data or something.
if you've got a proper paying one, you can have it. You can download stuff offline.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I think
maybe
that's
it's because I've got the free Spotify.
Not that I do. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't pay for Spotify. Like
I don't use Wi-Fi. I've got 100 gigs on my things, and I listen to podcasts all day. 100 gigs. I mean, is it worth getting out of bed for less than 100 gigs? Probably not. But yeah, I listen to them all day, and so you should be able to.
I do like Joe Rogan still. It's just inconvenient when I go to download them because I want to build them up so that if I go for a walk or something, I'm
How long are you going for a walk for? Aren't your family like worried? They're like, if you how many back to back? Like, where is Michael? Is he doing a podcast?
No, but generally, before my issues, I went for I'd walk for an hour a day. Back issues. Right. Issues. Yeah, like I'd walk for an hour a day.
All right. Huh.
And yeah, I'll be doing the normal route around the countryside and
running around.
I went like this.
Looking for truffles there.
And people would just be watching me laughing my head off as I'm walking. So yeah,
probably. Joe Rogan's got too many American accents. It's all American. I don't do American accents.
I don't mind American accents when it's not in person. I can listen to it's like when you watch them on television and stuff or listen to them, they're not. It
seems different, doesn't it?
When you actually meet an American person, that's the worst deal breaker.
Why is it different on TV?
You can turn the television off.
No, but
if they're there in front of you,
it's like it's
why they all shoot each other all the time.
It's like the American accent is amplified when you meet someone in person. Somehow.
Depending on the person, it's not too bad. But
it's like maybe the TV desensitizes you to the American accent.
It's starting.
Yeah.
I better try and catch up. Hang on.
This is so creamy. This
looks creamy.
Honestly, it's like there's a layer of Philadelphia cheese on the top. Actually, maybe this milk's gone bad. Maybe this room isn't as cold as I thought it was.
It shouldn't be like cheese in there.
Yeah.
Let's swap wrists for my 2.5 watchmakers watch.
So what are you going to? Lundy Blue?
No, I'm going to put that on the proper wrist because I had the Lundy. I took the Lundy Blue off. Didn't want to get it too sweaty.
All right.
Let's segue into you know what brand we never talk about?
What?
Panerai.
Rolex. Oh, Panerai.
Yeah.
Well, you know why I don't talk about Panerai? I don't want to talk about Panerai. It's bollocks.
Really?
Yeah, they have so much fake advertising. It's just a joke. So I don't. But anyway, we'll talk about what's their latest one. I
don't even know if it's the latest one. I mean, it must be a struggle for Panerai because all their watches people talk about Rolexes looking the same.
Yeah, these are worse.
It's they can't really do anything different. It's not even, they can't even come out with a code 1159.
They tried. They called 1111.
Panerai, they unfortunately they are like, there is some brands that are stuck with a certain look, and that is Panerai similar. But I mean, you can say that about AP because so many people just think that it's the Royal Oak. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, to be honest, I still think Panerai is cool. I still, but that's a personal thing. Like I still like them.
That's because you bought your wife one. You have to say it's cool, right?
No, I still occasionally put it on. I just think they got it right. They
flipped that one yet?
No, they did get that. They got that design right though, Rob. Like,
is that the one with the wire lugs and the thinner one?
Yeah.
Just in general, Panerai, the design that they generally go for. I think the big sandwich dial.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I just don't like the company, and I look at too many Periscope posts on Instagram and stuff like that where like, oh, he's off. Oh, just you and me, mate. Okay, he's gone back into the Independence corner.
Look at him. Look at him. He's got the.
What's in the corner? What's in there? What's in there?
No, that just goes out into the hall.
Does it?
Yeah, that goes out into the hallway.
I don't
Is it?
remember. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah, that goes out in the hall. And to the left is Stevie Breguet's suite as you go out that door.
Michael knows he's been here. He's been here.
And the couch used to be over there.
What,
where
I
the
haven't been
TV
there?
is.
This is the couch here. This is
I've been
where,
there, but I
yeah.
wasn't in the Stevie Breguet suite.
This is where Charith just said, I'm just going to have a sit down for a minute. Why don't you put a DVD on for me? And I said, I don't have a DVD player. And then I turned around and he was like,
Because he hasn't watched his 1.5 movies for the day yet.
he was gone. He was absolutely gone. It's great.
I need to get Charith over here. I'd love to see Charith in Perth.
He's a good man.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Man.
It's good fun.
So back to the Panerai. I think yeah, if you take away
The fact that Panerai.
your feeling about the company, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I agree. The cushion,
watch
I like the
design.
cushion shape.
Yep.
I like the old ones that are a bit finer.
Yep. So the Radomir is cool too. Like I used to think that the Luminor with the lockdown, their usual lockdown crown or the lock-in crown, that system. What's the system called?
I don't know. It's Reg TM. I think it's registered. You mean the protection, big protection thingy?
Yeah.
They got chronograph on the dial again. They got to tell everyone it's a chronograph.
But the Radomir I actually like too.
Is that the wire lug one?
Yeah, with the open crown. There's
I like
nothing-
that one.
Yes.
With a California dial, that's what I would get, but they're just too big. Although what's Benoit got? Benoit's got one.
Yeah, he's got a cool one.
They're not too big. They're smaller
You can
ones.
get 38 mil ones. Right?
Oh, that's too small.
To be honest, if I'm getting a Panerai, I'm sort of going for the bigger ones, like because that's Panerai.
But look at your beard. Look at my beard.
You're a lumberjack.
Yeah.
Says all, really, doesn't it?
So I've got to come back to Zoom to see your beard again. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Panerai, obviously we know that how big they were from the late 90s to like 2010. Well, for that decade, it was hot.
Yeah.
It's because and there are people that are still there's people that still love that design and
massive fan base.
And you look at and then you get into the vintage stuff with the Rolex movements and stuff.
That's the problem. That's where the problem starts because they messed it up big time. All their fake history, Panerai themselves. And a lot of guys got onto it, and now there's no mercy, and they still mess it up a lot.
Tell us about it because I'm not 100% sure about it.
Oh, they Photoshop old photos of the original shop. They changed stuff.
Was that them? Was that them that did that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they I want them to. I wish they come in here and listen, but they don't because they support. Or they follow and support like guys making up Frankenstein Panerais, and it's just messy. The Italians down there, they really, if you start digging, just look at Periscope, his Instagram thing, and then you go from there, and it's just there's so much stuff, and then there's fake Panerais popping up, fake vintage Panerais popping up in Antiquarium all the time.
Right.
And the company does nothing about it. The company, it's really, really bad.
Right.
Doesn't that happen with all brands? It seems like there's always
not as bad as these guys. These guys have left others in the dust for just stupidity and fake brand heritage, which is, I mean, really, really fake. I mean, photoshopped and wrong, just really wrong. Serious.
It's
like Longines and Tissot.
Like pretty much every brand.
No.
The majority of brands have fake heritage rather than.
They do a little bit to a degree, but I think these guys are taking it to the next level. Seriously,
right?
If you do some digging, seriously, there's thousands of pages of websites and stuff. Right. It's just it's unbelievable.
What was the thing recently with the Nazi people or something? Everyone was getting upset about.
That's right.
Antiquarium.
No. With Panerai, they posted something and it was
an ad.
It was the Italian Navy, but it was when they were Nazis or something. I didn't see any swastikas on them, but someone worked out.
Yeah.
Where Nazi
the occupation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
besides all of that, the design is good. It's just a shame that I mean, to be honest, I mean, there was a lot of money, and there probably still is in real vintage Panerai. So maybe that's been affected. I haven't looked at
I thought it's in the
vintage
toilet.
Panerai
Like they
boxes.
used to be, the vintage stuff used to be go for crazy money,
It
and
used
then
to
it
anyway.
went
it has
right in
gone
the
down a bit.
toilet. Like
Yeah,
it was
saw
huge.
one
still
of
trying to.
Once the trust went from what people were actually getting, like there's
Yep.
still trust there for the moment anyway for vintage Rolex, I think. But once the market lost faith for vintage Panerai market, then it was done.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I think the more concerning thing for me about modern Panerai is it's like the brand has moved into every corner like that they can get into now, and it's like there's nothing really else they can do. They've done tourbillons and they've done chronographs and they've done smaller and they've done bigger. They've done different cases. It's like they can't be an Omega and do something different. They can't be a Rolex and do a Sky Dweller. It's like they've done every single thing they can do, and it's just now about every year bringing out something slightly different or different dial color or just different combination of materials or whatever. But I just don't think there's anything else they can. I think it's a very limited company.
Do you think though? Because you could say that about a lot of brands. Like it would be difficult for them to do something new. Panerai could really. There's nothing stopping them doing something different and have the same design language. Like they could if they wanted to.
I think the thing that stops them is their devoted fan base who loves what they do already. If you think about Bell and Ross, how they did some vintage kind of inspired stuff that's away from their square shape.
Yep.
I think they could get away with it, but it's a different kind of watch, and it has a different. Bell and Ross has a different place in the market versus Panerai.
Bell and Ross didn't just rely on that. They weren't cemented heavily enough with that shape. They weren't established enough. So but Panerai has established with that look.
They're stuck with it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That is true. That is true, because if they had have come out if they had have started coming out originally with a few different shapes or models, what's stopping them doing that though? I mean, they're gonna get negative attention initially, but like most brands when they first start, they might only have one or two looks and then they just build on it.
I think if they were going to do something different, they'd have done it already.
Right.
Do you not think?
Well, I was surprised. We're looking for the listeners and what do you call them? Watchers. The Panerai Luminor Chrono Goldtech Blue Knot PAM code 1111 live pics and pricing on Hodinkee. And I'm surprised they messed up the color. I think I'm colorblind. It's supposed to be green this year.
Right.
They got a blue. So that's one thing they messed up.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about the watch then. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Let's talk about watch, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
So once again, Rob, the case back.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that. That's a.
Is it a shocker?
Just
hang on. Where's the case back? I haven't seen the case back. Oh, that's just terrible. Yeah, I did see that. And you can tell it's just a.
that's a modular. Is that a modular chronograph?
Yeah,
it is. Because that's that was the 2892. I don't know what it is now. What are they calling it now?
Yeah, it's probably yeah.
Is that 2892?
Originally, it would have been. They're designed after the 2892, and they've got a modular chronograph, a module on the front.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not digging that.
No, it's a new P9200 automatic chrono. It's their own movement, mate. They made it in house.
Yeah, 15 mil thick. Pooh. It's a big boy.
Pooh, indeed.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't mind the look, the blue with the gold.
That's a nice combo, blue and gold.
Wait a minute. What color gold is this? This is white
Bright
gold.
yellow gold.
This is white gold. Okay. I don't like the
Hang on.
What do you mean it's white gold?
No, it's not white gold.
What do you mean?
honestly, I'm obviously just having a stroke every single fucking episode now then. And
Holy
you guys are just
crap.
like hanging around like, oh, like he can't, he's like totally lost vision now. But it's fine. It's probably just a further stage of color blindness. Is this not white gold?
There is 90% colorblind in 2 eyes.
This is unreal. This
Oh,
is
wait,
like,
okay, wait a minute. The very first picture
Very
that
first
we're on
picture.
Hodinkee,
Yep.
the very first picture looks like white gold to me.
Oh
Now
my
I'm
God.
scrolling down.
Yep.
It looks gold.
Yeah, it's like a
What, yellow
pinkish-
gold or gold gold?
It's like a
Yeah,
pinkish
like
gold.
yellow gold. Oh no, actually, yeah, the last one looks very more pinky,
Yeah.
but the first
That's
one looks kind
hilarious.
of white gold to me.
The case back, is that look pink gold or something else?
Everything must look so boring to you, Alex.
It's in
What are you talking
monochrome.
about? When you're drunk all the time, everything is so incredibly exciting.
Like that, they call it gold tech. What do they call it? Gold tech. The case
It's like,
material.
it's like
is fucking-
Everrose or something or other. It's kind of like a, yeah.
They've
It's just
saying they
rose
made
gold.
a new
I'm
material.
just not
a
going to
new
make any
alloy.
comments about any colors.
No, I don't think you should.
People are like, what do you think
Yes,
about this
no,
color, Alex? I'm like,
This is great. You've got to keep. This is a new.
We
this is a
need
new thing.
to make a new segment about colors for Alex.
This is like Rob muting himself. Like this is the same sort of thing.
except,
Like,
except worse,
it is.
except more interesting.
Yeah, it is. This is great.
The
Like,
case back is to the case back. I don't know why people are doing this now. There's this now just a thing. If you've got a stinking movement, you put
Yeah.
some stuff over it. Then why do a display case back and then make it so you can't see the movement?
Exactly.
The pushers are like stupid.
Like, I love the Tudor in sterling silver.
Yeah,
But make that just a solid case back. Like the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing here. Just do a solid case back.
Yep.
Like people that know watches are going to find out eventually that there's going to be enough talk that is a
Yeah, but this
modular.
is a Panerai. People buy it who don't know watches.
Oh my
I'd rather
God.
I'd
But
rather
that's-
see
that's a
the Tudor
20-something
movement than this, to be honest.
How much does that cost in Aussie, Rob? Work that one out because that's 20-something thousand US, isn't it?
26.7.
26.7.
Goodness, yeah, that's not cheap.
That's not cheap.
Maybe I just put it in my little.
I've nearly drunk 1.5 liters of milk.
Well, how much vodka?
I've done
35 grand.
half a bottle of vodka, half a bottle of Kahlua.
Let me tell you, Rob, there, guys, there's a watch we're talking about soon that you've got on the list that is cheaper than that, and it's got a real manufacturing movement in it, and in gold.
I think I know
Oh.
which one this could be.
Yeah.
I wonder which
There's
one.
only 4 watches this week.
No, but this one, this 26,000 US, and it's
Yeah.
it's a modular, it's an ETA-based module chronograph with a fucking weird case back. Like
35
you can,
grand.
You can barely see the movement.
But was the one you're talking about used by Nazis? Because I only buy watches that are used by Nazis. So
It's got a little fish on the back. That means it's fish proof.
is that the Christian fish?
The
that you
fish
get
can't
on
get
that
in.
sticker.
Yeah, this one's a bit more of a. It's a bit angular. So I don't know. Maybe it's a Panerai Nazi version. Don't know.
Where's the fish? Oh yeah, it's the fish. 50 meters.
It's fish proof.
Why
Don't know.
have it with that special crown?
Yeah, I know.
Special
Just-
crown.
Yeah, it gets worse
Reg,
and worse.
what's it
It
called?
just
Reg
keeps getting worse and
TM.
worse.
Reg TM.
And then it's just 50 meters water resistant. Yep.
Reg Tia Maria.
Every time you want
to.
to change the time, you got to do the.
I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that system.
That means he likes it. He loves it.
Yeah,
if
I
it's
do
only
like- I
50
do like
meters
that
water
system.
resistant, why? What's the point?
No, I don't get, like, seriously. They're supposed to be a freaking dive watch. Like they're
It's not a dive watch.
no,
get
I
it.
know, but they're marketed originally. Panerai Luminor is supposed to be an Italian dive watch.
The
Navy dive watch.
marketing of Panerai is just. That's what I'm
It's just-
saying. It's just so wrong. Just
Mm.
do a bit more. Do some research, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people.
Yeah,
When I go and buy one.
exactly.
What is it, the listeners and the watchers.
The watchers, our audience, our esteemed audience, whichever you may be watching or listening.
So the marketing. Remember what I sent you guys?
No. What you sent us?
Looking at your YouTube thing where you had 137 views.
On my YouTube.
And 137 views and you had 8 comments. And then one from a major brand with 2.1 million views, 3 comments.
Yep.
They're all as shady as each other.
Dodgy as. No, but that's the only thing I don't like about this particular brand. As much as I like that original cushion shape, I agree, Michael, but I think these are the worst, shadiest, shonkiest marketers.
Yep. I appreciate the design.
You have to appreciate it.
Yeah, but some of the I'll be very picky about which watches I choose from them.
Yes.
I like some of their in-house movements and stuff.
Did you like those little white dial ones they did a couple of years ago?
I haven't tried them on. So the
I didn't mind the look. Yeah.
Is that the smaller one? Yeah. I don't mind those.
Oh, nice.
I haven't tried it yet, so I'll take your word for it.
And the whole thing about Stallone stumbling across a little shop in Italy when he was filming, bollocks, total bollocks.
That's not what happened. I thought he saw that he was filming daylight and the stuntmen were wearing these watches.
No, Alex, that's what someone said. But Panerai actively sought him out and made him wear one.
Oh,
and then they made up the story afterwards.
Did they?
Totally. Every story about in their marketing is bollocks.
Listen, okay,
I'm listening.
Listen, are you listening?
Listen,
I'm listening.
Listen,
I'm all ears.
Listen, you're like Joe Pesci from
listen
from Lethal Weapon 2. Listen. Okay.
Don't go to the drive-through. Don't drive to the drive-through. They screw you in the drive-through. So I can't get his accent.
Our good friend
of the show.
JCB.
Yes.
Yep.
And I had this conversation recently with Brendan from KA Timepieces, who is a fan of the show, but also can't come into the Slack group because he writes for Time and Tide. So we're talking about, just different. What were we talking about?
Who knows? You started it. I don't know. We're listening. You said
we're talking about something though. What were we talking about before I said about this guy?
Dodgy marketing.
Dodgy marketing. Yeah. What else are we talking about though?
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. I have a monologue, and I'll come back to you in a second once I remember what it is.
All right. So.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. JCB.
That's all it took.
Our good friend JCB.
Dear friend.
It's good. When I have this level of alcohol, I don't slur. It's just my mind loses all functionality.
Right.
JCB is well loved within the watch community and well respected, but he was a bit of a shady bastard when it came to like the marketing and stuff he did. But it's kind of celebrated now. And this is what Brendan was saying to me. He's like, well, okay, that brand I sent you through, which definitely isn't part of Daniel Wellington, who's paid for 2.1 million views on YouTube, but has 3 comments. Like maybe they're doing something like JCB did back in the day. And 50 years from now, when it's the Hodinkee 200-year fest, the guy who works for that brand will be going, so I came up with this idea to buy 2 million views on YouTube, and then, the brand went from strength to strength. So how come JCB gets away with it and other like modern people don't? Just because we don't know what it is they're doing now and we don't know their vision doesn't mean they're not doing something kind of cool.
Shonky buggers. JCB too.
I think was it a question?
Dodgy. Was that a question?
Sure.
I agree.
What is the question?
Look,
I agree.
I think
the
time.
time.
Compare JCB with what he did because he was like it was like comedy.
He was a visionary.
It was more.
He reminds me a lot of myself, a younger version of myself. If I'm honest.
Yeah. I don't know.
The thing is,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant if they made that up with Stallone. That's brilliant, Rob.
well, it's brilliant, but
Rob doesn't like it.
the thing is now it's easy to disprove stuff with the internet and with Insta and everything. It's easy to disprove stuff and do research and find out stuff. And people are much quicker now. Back in JCB's day, you could get away with it, but I don't think it's any better. I don't think it was any better then. And
when he did the thing where he smashed up all their showcase,
I love it. I love it. That's comedy though. That's hilarious.
But maybe even that's the thing. Maybe those things didn't even happen. Like he's like the last of the Mohicans, right? Pretty much. He can say whatever he wants.
Smuggling in cheese. That happened.
Yeah.
That
did
happen.
it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's like,
and you know what? If it didn't happen, it's a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Either way, I just think it's a fantastic.
Maybe
story.
he just imagine JCB was just out there day in, day out, putting in the hard work, 12 hours a day, just cold calling. Do you want to buy a watch? No, okay. Next number. Do you want to buy a watch? Like just he put in. There was no scams, no funny business. Just built up,
just hard work.
Yeah, just bit by bit hard
blood,
work,
sweat, and tears.
And then years later, everyone else is dead. So he could be like, okay, so I'm in a camper van. There's 12 of us. We smashed up Basel and pretended like, I don't know, maybe that's...
So he just smoked a bit of weed and just started writing some crazy stories.
Like, I think Rob's right, though, like the fact that you can check things so much more now. Like, you can't really get away with anything. When you think about people that get pulled up for so much less now, it's like there's nothing... You can't get away with anything now.
They keep trying. Even once they've been pulled up, they come back at it again and again and again. They just keep repeating the stupid things instead of just stopping and saying, okay, we stuffed up. Panerai are known for just carrying on. And it's, yeah.
But it's part of the whole larger ecosystem as well in the watch industry. That's what I was speaking to Brendan about as well. It's like...
Not just us.
And again, and you commented on that same post that Brendan had on his Instagram when I was talking about brands who pay for views and stuff like that. It's
yes, that's it. That's what it is.
It's gone.
I'm trying to make a bloody point here.
I agree. I don't know what your point was, but I definitely agree. Can we move on? Can we
what's the point? Okay, great point. Wait a minute. I'll come back.
I've lost it too.
This White Russian.
You were so close to being there, and I was there. I was there with you, and then all of a sudden, I was
off.
I looked at Rob. Okay,
he put us off.
Here we go. We're back. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're back. The larger ecosystem in the watch industry.
What do you keep talking about ecosystems for? Is that an ecosystem?
The people who work for the brands go and work for the media companies. The media companies go and work for the brands. And as I said to Brendan, there's times when I see brands who pay money for advertising or whatever with media companies. And I'm like, all these followers or listeners or viewers are fake. And I call them out on it, which again is probably one of the reasons why I'm the most unpopular person of all time. in our smaller ecosystem of the industry. But because it's too late, they can't do anything. They've already paid money for these things. They can't then go to their boss and say, we're going to stop advertising on these people. Why is that? Oh, all their stuff's fake. Oh, but you've already spent $100,000 on it. Like they wouldn't, they can't ever do that. They would never say that. And these people just go from one company to the next, one brand to the next, media company to brand, and backwards and forwards to the auction houses. Like there's no place for them to go. So they're all part of that system of bullshit. And that's why the brands get away with all the bullshit they do and all the Swiss made stuff and all the fake heritage and all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing ever happens, nothing ever improves because it's just a big cycle of rubbish.
True.
Great point. Alex eventually got there. Good.
You did kind of, yes. And I agree. And I said I agreed before, so I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
And see, this is why I don't like the video, because normally I can just no distractions, but then I've got Rob down the bottom just kind of like nodding. Like he's like, "Come on, you're almost there. You've just that's it."
The video is a different thing altogether. You're picking up, you're trying to pick up cues and reactions from the other people. No. Whereas when you got audio, you could just look at a fucking wall and just you're not distracted at all.
You know? Are you looking at a wall?
or the screen.
So impersonal. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. I get it though. I get what you're saying.
Great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was my point again?
Yeah, but yes. Well, we're doing a bit of filibustering here tonight.
Great filibustering. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that the first watch we've talked about now? No, second watch. Good.
Can I close it?
Oh.
I don't like having her dinky tabs open. What's the next one?
You can choose.
How about the Breitling Cuato?
What did you call it?
Cuato.
Yeah, no, I want to hear it. Say it.
Breitling Cuato.
Yeah, that was one of the best memes I've seen in ages.
Oh, really? That was so good.
You didn't like it, Rob?
Yeah, I did.
When I saw that, I was like, because that was one of the.
Who posted the picture?
It could have been Sean or.
No, it was what's his name? T-San. Yeah. Well,
and I haven't seen that movie in ages.
Thing.
What's off me? I said what it was. Jeez, give me some credit.
No, it was one of those meme guys on Instagram who's not Rob.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie in ages, so I can't remember exactly what he said. But
I said what it looked like, and someone else did a meme on it.
But I
really.
But in the movie, what does he come out of his stomach and say?
He's got a little dude there,
my name is Quaid.
No, Quaid.
No. Quaid was the main guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Cuato, Cuato, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
I'm getting mixed up.
The boss of the rebels.
I still remember when my best friend had his baby and he called me and I was like, "What's it like to be a dad?" And it was like, it's just been born or something. He's like, "It looks a lot like that thing that was coming out the guy's side in Total Recall." You're gonna be a fucking good dad. That's excellent.
Oh yes, yeah. So we're talking about the Breitling Super Chronomat, the new Super Chronomat, with a 4-year calendar. Yeah,
this is a collection, right?
Yes.
Collection.
Have you seen the Instagram ad for Breitling?
Nope.
It's like meet the founders, and then it's got who's the guy now? Where is it? Yeah, and then it's got like the actual founder, and then some other guy as well. Just like they're all, it's like superimposed together as like the two dead guys and him, and they're all like,
right. Is it?
No,
I've not seen that. No, I don't know. It's not in my feed. The other guys, is he wearing his old cap and stuff like an old dude?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah. I like that guy, and I think he's, and this
the
is
dead guy or
no, the new guy,
yeah,
the live guy, the dead guys. George Cohn is an amazing CEO. I think he's doing great stuff. But I mean, this might be great stuff from a marketing point of view. But I can't get too excited about it. Essentially,
yeah, I'm the same. I think he's been doing some amazing stuff over the recent years. He's putting Breitling back out there. with the actors they're involved with and stuff like that. Like it's good marketing. It's good, really good marketing. And I do like some of their recent releases actually. Some of them are cool, but these ones we're talking about here, I just don't I don't take to them. It's something about them there's too much going on. I don't.
The one with the other watch on the bracelet is I can't even imagine the meeting that went on when people gave that the green light.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll say it was based on some historic watch. But actually, if you scroll down, we're on watches by SGX. If you scroll down, there's one that's on, it looks like a kind of combo meal deal fabric rubber strap thing.
It's all rubber, but it's got the pattern of the holo thing. That's what they were trying to recreate, I think.
The relay, yeah. And it looks like it's got...
And brulee.
It's got... the bezel looks nice. This is all blue.
Yeah.
I actually think that's fairly attractive. It's just a chronograph. It's nothing crazy about it.
Yeah. So is that a perpetual? What's
no? This is just a chronograph. The perpetual calendar's further down.
Oh, okay. So you said it was blue.
Yeah.
Which one's blue?
Blue.
Oh God! Right? Fucking hell! It's probably purple or some shit. Jesus Christ!
There's no blue there, Alex. There's no blue.
Hang on. I see a chronograph with a blue bezel and a blue strap. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
I don't know anymore. I have no confidence left in my vision whatsoever.
I dislike that the least. So I don't like any of them enough to buy them. As I said, the ones they brought out recently, the vintage looking sort of Breitlings. No, the other ones.
Oh,
the other recent ones.
They could pass as Patek chronographs and stuff, and they were perpetual calendars.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
They were nicely designed. I think they were actually quite nice. Those ones.
I don't like anything with little big knobs and stuff off the bezels and that. It's kind of like those Colts and stuff they used to do. It's just horrible.
I know, it's ugly. It's there's too much going on there. It's
ugly.
Not. Yeah.
This is the best of a bad bunch, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think Breitling are doing well, but this is not. I don't know who they're going for with these ones.
Well, they're going for some of them. I'm sure they're going to do sales. But 2892 with 2 modules on top. I mean,
have they? Oh God.
Are they doing well? Or are they just doing better?
I think that. Well,
don't know.
I don't know.
Like they don't have John Travolta anymore. Like it's difficult to do worse.
So have you seen any of their marketing yet for these, or have they not really done it? Because if they start showing Brad Pitt wearing this stuff,
I'm not a good person to ask. I don't see their market. I don't watch it. I don't know.
I saw a video come up somewhere, and it was. How do you say his name? Jorge's Kern.
George.
Yeah, and it was him and it was him and Brad Pitt. But it was
Brad Pitt.
Made it seem like they were in the same room, but they weren't. And he was
couldn't be worse than that. Couldn't be worse than what's his name, Don Cheadle and flipping Mr.
No, it was Miles.
Hamas.
It was Miles. Actually, I was speaking to Benoit Petit Second, Chicken Master on Instagram the other day, and I went all the way back to see the very first interaction we'd ever had, and it was like in January 2019 or something. And I'd responded to something that he'd posted, and I said, it looks like a Tissot. And then I think he was slightly aggravated that I called this watch said it looked like a Tissot. He said, you can't judge a watch without seeing it in person, and it's too easy to do that. But we couldn't see what it was. So eventually he went back all through his stories and found that it was the Cody 1159. And I'd said it was like a Tissot, and he said, at least Benny Hannemas has one thing that he's done that's positive for the world. It brought us together as friends through me calling it a Tissot.
True. Okay. Sorry.
It's not as bad as the Don Cheadle thing, but it was obviously Brad Pitt who was there, who doesn't know anything about watches, and he was talking about a green dial.
Are you sure he didn't design the watch?
I love He's like, I love green, so this was an obvious choice for me. Blah, 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 and this,
Of course it was.
and it was just. I don't know. I don't know who anyone that would be convinced to get the watch through watching that kind of video.
I think they're kind of desperate with their video, with their marketing. I mean, they must must know that it's not just the watch guys who are fed up with this stuff or who laugh at it. Their marketing is it the general public as well? I mean, they're
no, you know what? I think that the marketing with let's just say one of the ones we were just looking at then, the Breitlings. If they have Brad Pitt wearing them for a campaign, one of those, it'll sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Yep. Okay.
It will. It will. You don't. It probably to more non-watch guys, like real, like obviously people that are into and study. Really get into it. I think
study Brad Pitt.
It'll work. That'll work.
Yeah.
It obviously does. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. That's the annoying thing.
Yep.
And that's the thing that we can't understand as the great intellects that we are. Like, we can't understand how they could pull the wool over anyone's eyes, but it obviously does work.
I can understand it.
Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we need to talk to
or his personally. Yeah,
you talk to some pilots. We need to talk to some pilots about this because pilots there seems to be there. John Travolta, for example. We'll get him on. No, let me call him. I'll send him a text. Let's shoot him a text. Hey, Johnny boy. But what's his name? In the chat, the group.
Bill?
Dale. Not Dale. Dale. Yeah, we got Dale.
What are we going to ask him?
What did you think of these new Breitlings? Would he buy one?
If I'm going to answer for him, no.
So I was reading something before about
you can't read,
and you were comparing the Don Cheadle AP with something. What were you comparing it with?
No. I was comparing the interaction between Don Cheadle and Benny Hammis.
Yep.
Like virtual with the screens and stuff, and the interaction between Georges Kern and Brad Pitt. Apparently, I never saw that.
I have to see that because that must be really bad to even compare them because Benny Hammis and Don Cheadle really messed.
That was pretty bad.
Rob hasn't seen the George's.
Can't yell. I'm just here. Right. No, I haven't seen the Brad Pitt one. I'd like to.
Yeah, I'm the only person that's been unlucky enough to see both. Brad Pitt one. If the Don Cheadle, Benny Hannamus one hadn't existed, you'd have thought, oh, this is kind of like an awkward, weird thing. Why have we done this? The fact that the Benny Hannamus one exists,
it's good timing.
You're like, Brad Pitt should win an Oscar for this.
Right,
not a movie.
Yeah,
he should win a Golden Globe. He should win a Nobel Peace Prize. He should win all the awards.
Yep.
50-meter swimming certificate, all of them. That's how good this was.
Really?
I'm gonna get the video up so that I can watch it after.
It's pretty bland, but just compared to the freak fest that was that.
Why do they do it? Why can't they look at others and say, "Oh, that didn't work. That was embarrassing. Let's not do that." Why can't they?
I've told you before. It's this
ecosystem
of all the people just like feeding into each other and saying how great everything is.
Too many yes men.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, lucky fifth wrist's not like that. We all agree with you, but behind the scenes, we pretend we agree with you. It's kind of
you don't agree with me.
Don't sack me, please. I do really. Can we shut the?
So now they've got how many Ocean's people are actually in watch marketing now?
Is Don Cheadle really in? I think this is his last. He's like a one and done.
He's deep
in Ocean's 11
now.
Is he?
Yep, he's in it. So Brad Pitt, George Clooney. Who else have we got there?
Don Cheadle, he's done like one thing and it's been a terrible failure. He wasn't even at the presentation thing.
That one thing is
really
that is huge. What he did, like it was.
What did he do?
He was with Benny Hammis. He changed the way people are looking at AP now. Like it's
changed the way I look at it.
It's insane. Like I'll never forget that first video of them having a coffee together.
I don't think that was even that bad compared because that was obviously scripted and like scripted and planned out. Even though the other thing was kind of scripted, it was more like it was like what we do. Is Benny Hanneman is like, we'll just freestyle it. It'll be fine. They're like, you sure? Yeah. It's gonna be fine. And then it was a nightmare.
Abortion. While we're talking about AP or mentioning AP, can we just do a little segue here?
Yep.
Into that Genta Genius, half AP, half.
Oh no!
How bad is that?
Let's not do that. I don't know the origins of that. I don't know the backstory.
That wasn't on the list, but it's pretty bad.
I saw the watch and I was like, I just had to turn it off. Like
you want to poke your eyes out with the compass after, but you can't.
Yeah. So do you know?
Tweezers. That'd be good for that. Actually,
do you know who's behind that or
Bob Maron?
Really?
You know the guy?
No. Yeah, but he's a dealer. He's a pretty big dealer.
As in, I don't know him, but I know of him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's behind it.
How can you get away with it?
I don't think you can.
That's insane. It's like an April Fool's thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Worse actually.
It's so bad.
It's like a Harry Potter April Fool.
Okay. Would you rather wear this or the AP Black Panther? Michael, you first.
Hang on. Where are we going? Sorry, which one? Oh,
I don't want to know.
The AP Black Panther.
You'd rather wear the AP Black Panther?
Yeah, of course.
Rob, is Rob gone for his third shit of the day, or is he coming back?
The one we're talking about, the mix between the two watches.
Yeah.
The AP Black Panther, simply because there's actually besides what people say about it, there's actually like real craftsmanship behind it. Like it might not be the intention. Well, I don't even know if the intention was good, but I still appreciate the craftsmanship behind it.
Behind what?
Behind
Black Panther.
Yeah. Compared to the other one.
What were you
comparing
which would you rather wear, the Genta Genius or the Black Panther watch?
The whole thing of me getting up and going away was.
You were trying to avoid that.
Yeah, I didn't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved with either of them.
Okay. I'd rather wear the Genta Genius.
You want to see me get up and do it? I'll moon you if you want. That's what I think of both of them. No, I don't. No. I don't know. I shouldn't have mentioned it. Sorry, shouldn't have brought it up.
I know you can't. You brought it up and then you just wandered away.
We haven't talked that much about the Black Panther one. Do you?
Actually.
Wait a minute.
Do you hate it?
Have a monologue. I'm not even going for a pee, but my lactose levels are through the roof. I need to get a nasal thing because I can't even breathe just now.
What's a nasal thing? Like I put some earplugs up there or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just chat away, but don't sound too exciting while I'm
you
gone.
You just said you were going to the toilet.
Authentic, Michael. Authentic.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
Pull your hat down a bit further. I actually watched Black Panther for the first time.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard? Sorry.
On Robin the Regulator, yeah.
Just to see what everyone was banging on about, and yeah, well, you know,
you're afraid to say that you didn't like it that much.
Oh no, I didn't mind it. No,
I didn't mind it. I just expected more from it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, because there was a lot of talk around it, and I just thought it was going to be, I think it was pumped up too much for me. Like, so many people talked about how good it was.
The movie.
The movie.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I like the fact that it's mostly set in Africa, so you get his African accents and stuff. That's kind of cool. More than like American Yahoo.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it. I mean, it's no more far-fetched than the other superhero movie. Let's face it. But the actual watch, no. And I think the whole build up for the Marvel thing, I just, it really put me off AP. Seriously, that will be the reason if I sell the jumbo one day, it'd be because of this crap.
Yeah, because of the association.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Association right now. AP doesn't look.
Yeah.
Do you think though that Benny Hanneman has got a bit of a kind of, He's in
Yes.
a unique position in the Swiss watch industry where he's a CEO. Wait, I move Dave the cat out of the way. Dave! He's a CEO and he can actually do whatever he wants. Like every other brand CEO we never would have predicted the Black Panther watch. Even when we're like, it's a Marvel thing, we're like, it's probably gonna be something pretty boring, whatever, blah blah.
Yeah.
We would never have predicted something quite so appalling presented in such an appalling way as the Black Panther watch. It was really like a bit of a treat, really, if we're talking about excitement and people talking about stuff. What other brand manager could do that, or sorry, CEO could do that and still have a job now?
I know.
Richard Mill.
Well, he owns the company. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he's
He did own the company.
He's a minority shareholder, but he
Right,
still does
okay.
some wacky stuff.
But that's what
So-
I think with,
but
with
not
Benny
like this, though,
Hannemus,
really.
like AP, whoever the AP board members, they're like I think I've said before, they're on a yacht someplace or on an island.
Yeah,
they're calling him
they're-
and they're like, "Is everything okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, everything's great." And they're like, "Okay,
they're
keep on
very
just doing
hopeless.
it."
They're very
They haven't
soft.
got an internet connection.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I haven't
Um,
checked the watch news recently. Don't check the watch news. There's nothing worth. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's all boring. It's still just COVID. COVID all the time. I think I've been waiting to think, it's actually genius. I'm waiting to see something happen where people all of a sudden realize
It's not
the
genius.
guy's a genius, right? Like, how is he still in that position? Like, the guy must have so much power to do this crazy shit and be just swinging around, just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do this. We're just going to do that. And he's just, let me ask you, if they hadn't have done that big marketing, like the build up and the way they did it with the shit at the start, like I watched the intro with Kevin Hart. If they hadn't have done all of that stuff and they just on the side, there was a little release of a watch for charity, and it was like a special edition that, you know, obviously that's just for the ultra rich to buy. What would you have thought about it then?
Yeah, but then he wouldn't have. He's not about that. He's about getting maximum exposure.
Yeah, so
Doesn't matter, you know.
but I'm talking about the watch now. Is the because would you have hated the watch so much
Probably
if
not.
they didn't do all
No,
that
you're probably
other
right.
shit? What Benny Hammis did with all that. There was like a circus.
Mm.
And then the
It's
watch
exactly what
was,
they did with the 1159 as well, though, right?
Yeah, he pumped it up a lot. Whereas if he just released it,
Yeah, if it had
People
been like
would have been-
three examples or something, and it was like
Yep.
you say a charity thing or whatever, it just wouldn't have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have been that big a thing. But if you're telling everyone
yep, exactly.
and getting people pumped up for something, like
And
so many
getting
brands
celebrities on
release
there.
things that are there's 3 or 5 or 10,
Yep.
and they would be appalling to most people, but because they don't
Yep.
make a big deal about it. But
Yeah,
but
It's
his
just-
confidence, I mean, it must be something to be admired there, even if it's not kind of grounded to anything. Like his confidence about what he's doing is insane. And obviously the owners of AP are picking up on that. They're like, this guy can do it. This guy can do anything. He said he's going to be, they're like going to do like 90% of the global watch sales in the next 3.5 weeks. Like, we need to back this guy. Like, it's,
he's got something. He's got something over them. He's just like, fuck it, I can do whatever I want now. Because I think if he hadn't have made a big deal about the Code 1159, if it was just released and it wasn't hyped up so much, there wouldn't have been that. There would have been a lot of negative attention, but not like it was.
so you think he's got dirt on the owners of AP?
And he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. Yep. But I really think if he had have just toned it down and not made such a big deal about it and just slowly release these things, just quietly release them, which actually AP do. They quietly release stuff on the website and people find out about it by going on the website and finding it. Like if they just did that and then all of a sudden people are like, geez, did you see what just fucking happened? There's new watches there. There wasn't hype about it, but oh yeah, it's I don't particularly like it, but he just created this negative, like this opportunity for people to bag the shit out of it.
Is he like the Trump of brand CEOs, where they're like, Benny, this was a terrible failure. And he's like, what are you talking about? This was a massive success.
Wow.
Everyone is talking about it. I'm the most virile CEO of any brand of all time.
Virile.
Like, maybe that, like, and then everyone's like, yeah, okay, then. Like, I mean, if you are the CEO and he's obviously not answering to anybody, or maybe the people who own AP are like, this was fucked up. And he's like, are you against black people? Because if you're against the Black Panther watch, you're obviously a racist. And they're like, okay, wait a minute. No, that's fine. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're a great job, Benny. I don't know.
Yeah, like he's entertaining. I'll give him that. But the that whole intro with that car and the special effects around it as well. It was.
He's like Mr. Bean. Honestly, that's the way I think of him. He's like the Mr. Bean of brand CEOs.
Oh,
I wonder if the other CEOs just look at him and go, oh, yes, like, here he comes again. He's going to make us look good.
Don't you wonder? Like if they have like a little CEO party at the end of the year or something, all we get together and he walks in the room and everyone just goes quiet.
Again, I think it's back to the
I'm sure they don't.
ecosystem thing. And I see it at work when the people come in and they've just had their 18th Botox of the year. And everyone's like, you're looking so fresh. And everyone's just like, have you been on holiday, Gladys? Because you're looking so well. Oh yeah, just had a little freshen up. That's what I think people they have the inability to be honest with each other.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
No one's ever like, you colorblind fuck. What's wrong with you?
I've listened to a few of his episodes on different podcasts. Benny Hammers.
Need to get him on.
Tell us how to pronounce his name again, Rob, because I've completely
Benny
Hammers. I can't because
Benny's good. Benny
I used to be able to say. I used to be able to pronounce it. I'm sure I did.
When I see it the right way now, or hear people say it the right way, I don't even register it as being the same person. I'm like, I've heard that name before. Why did I know that name?
Benny sounds better. I like Benny. Let's stick with Benny.
Stick with Benny. No, I listened to some of his episodes on various podcasts where he's interviewed, and he actually came across really...
Have you got anything better to do? What do you mean?
He's an invalid.
Over the last few years, the amount of podcasts I go through I just eventually listen to
everything.
Yeah. To do with watches anyway.
Okay. No, I've not had the privilege of listening to many of his podcasts.
Actually, another guy interesting to listen to is Christian Salmoni from Vacheron.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Benny came across really, really good on these podcasts, and it's just like in the last 12 months.
He's a good talker.
It's almost like he found cocaine. Like
he found cocaine, like he found it in a toilet, a nightclub, and he's like, "Oh, this isn't cocaine. This is LSD. No, let's go back to the lab and create some."
He's definitely ramped it up a little bit.
Watches.
Like it is different. Like over the last few years, he's done like interviews I've heard him in, and just things they've done have been quite.
Maybe it's since I left. He's lost my guiding.
Yeah.
Guiding.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Voice.
And you're yeah, exactly.
No, it's before that.
I don't know. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a.
They're really swinging for the. I
don't know what they're swinging for, but
I don't know any brand CEO. When I hear them doing stuff, I'm always like, it'd be good to listen to someone who's actually either enthusiastic about watches in general or knows something about watches. Yeah. And I guess that's why I like the fact we don't have many brand CEOs on our thing, because like I don't want to listen to somebody. I don't want to have a conversation with someone that isn't an actual watch enthusiast, and most of them come across as not being watch enthusiasts.
There's the one, we've had him on the show already, so
yeah, the one guy exactly who's passionate about everything in life. Yeah, for the rest of his life. Scottish Watches had the IWC guy on, Chris Granger
recent.
Hare or something.
Yep.
And I've always called him a serial killer because I've felt he's very, very dull. And actually, I heard him on their show, and I think they got something out of him. He seemed a lot more relaxed and a lot more, seemed almost, not almost funny, he seemed funny.
Yeah.
But there's still that limitation that's put in place when you're a brand CEO of, you can only talk about our watches. Nothing exists outside of these watches. This is what you talk about. You can't talk about anything else. And it just makes people not very exciting to listen to. So maybe I need to listen to more Benny Hannemus stuff, because he's obviously a visionary genius, and if he can talk about other stuff other than Black Panther watch, then maybe it's worth a listen.
I'll send you some podcasts, some episodes.
And how many have you listened to of him? How many different things?
I want to just say maybe 3.
Jesus Christ, Michael. Yeah, okay.
I think. Yeah. I mean, you can search it. I mean, yeah, I thought he knows how to sell, but then recently I'm just like, well, maybe we're going to get through this, and seriously, we'll be like, yeah, all right, he knew what he was doing, because the level he took this to, maybe it's getting people that weren't even on in their radar, and now they saw that because of Kevin Hart and Don Cheadle.
They saw it, but they're not going to. If they're not into watches, they're not going to spend $40,000 on a watch.
No, who knows?
Me.
Who knows? Who knows?
If the guys have come from,
most likely you're right, but it will be interesting to see in a couple of years what we think happened after that. Like,
I think it'd be really interesting to get your mate, the CEO from your mate's Rolex, that Jean-Frédéric Dufour guy.
Yeah,
he's a good CEO, but he's Rolex, so he's just going to toe the company line. He's formatted Rolex now.
What does he ever do? I've never seen him do anything, which makes me think
he was good before, though. He was at Gégère, and he did awesome things with other brands.
Yeah. Okay, so there's footage and stuff of him out there.
Yeah, not much, but a little bit.
There is a bit, yeah.
But isn't that great? You can be head of a brand, and there's just nothing.
It's not what you necessarily do publicly, though. It's like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think it's like a good thing. Right. It's like you just stay in your office. If you don't leave your office, there's less chance for you to like fuck everything up. Well, meanwhile, Benny's like, I'm doing another press conference. Or like, you did one earlier on this morning. He's like, I don't care. I've got stuff. The people need to know about Wakanda.
and I just had eye surgery, but fuck it. I'm going to go and...
Where my sunnies? Oh, where my sunnies?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just going out to have a coffee with Don Cheadle. No, nothing. We're just going for coffee. There's no media there or anything.
Oh my goodness. It's just it's embarrassing, really. I prefer to talk about something else.
This anyway. This is Michael's fault.
All right.
I wanted to talk about the...
Let's go on to something else.
Let's talk about the Zenith that Michael loosely hinted at earlier.
The Zenith. Okay.
Michael, are you a certified Zenith service representative? You need to let us know.
No.
Do you have any ties to the Zenith company?
No.
Are you affiliated in any way?
Are you?
I am affiliated. The only way is
you are.
I help them. I help them. I helped No, the only way is I help them market the I can't say its name now.
You helped them,
the manufacturer edition.
Did you? You helped them,
and then I bought one. That's it.
You came up with the whole plan.
Did you buy it, or was it just given?
I handmade every piece.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's why they call you the Daniel Craig of Zenith.
No, that's it. I came across this one, and honestly, I don't.
And you love this one, you said, yeah.
I think for the money, it's actually okay.
Well, it's better for the money than the Breitling, but that doesn't mean it's certainly good value.
So it's not groundbreaking. It's a Zenith, and it's a gold case, and it's a ceramic bezel. But I looked at the price, and I thought, okay, I'm going to compare other gold chronographs out there. And I went to Rolex, and I just happened to see All right, I'll look at the Rolex. That's the one I actually like, the yellow gold with the ceramic bezel on a rubber strap. I like that Rolex, and it's a completely different price compared to the Zenith.
Yeah,
What I have,
28 grand for Zenith, I'd say roughly.
and I think the Rolex is about 40 or a bit over 40.
Plus premium.
48, 52, something.
And that's a big. I remember thinking it's not quite double, but it's getting close there.
The movement's nowhere near as not. Yeah, you haven't got the same movement, have you? Haven't got that sapphire case back.
Well, the movement in the Rolex I like more. People like the El Primero more, but I like the 4130 more.
I prefer the look of the Rolex movement to. I've always thought that the El Primero looks a bit like a 7750 from the back. I don't think it's an attractive.
Well,
I don't think it's an attractive movement, to be honest.
the Rolex isn't necessarily really attractive, but service wise, the Rolex 4130 is so good to service.
I just think there's too much going on with it. It's not like a 1861 or like a 321 chronograph movement.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. It just doesn't.
Well, it's an automatic too.
But it doesn't. It doesn't do it for me.
Doesn't sit well with you.
It doesn't wacky changy well with me, Rob, for sure. On the first picture on Watches by SGX, it honestly looks like a PVD Tissot, which I sadly am all too familiar with. But that's honestly what it looks. It looks very familiar to me.
Okay.
And who's buying a solid gold Zenith El Primero anyway, right?
I like that it's got pump pushers.
Yeah, same.
Like that I think that's nice.
Yep.
I like that. I like the Stark. Like I don't know what the dial is like in person in the metal, but it's like a really porcelain sort of white dial.
Mm-hmm.
I just like this. I would go this over a lot of chronographs out there, especially gold chronographs. Like this is.
I like that the subdials are all the same color. So that's a great, really. It's just nice to see a watch with all the same color subdials,
and the dark bezel and the white gold case.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful.
It's just to have like a monotone watch in its entirety, strap, case, bezel, dials, subdials, is just very refreshing to me.
Can we actually get you? We should do this with most watches now. Can we get you to explain the colors?
No, definitely not. I'm not even. Listen, after tonight, I'm not doing any more podcasts. I'm just going to edit the website, and that's it. I fully retire.
This has to be celebrated.
It's great. It's gonna be a thing.
It's fantastic.
It's not celebrated if I'm just getting bullied all the time.
It's not bullying. We just I'm
Alex. What color is this? You retard.
I am fascinated.
Record it on a podcast so everyone can laugh together.
I am fascinated with the color blindness thing because I think even that day that I found out you were colorblind, I asked, so what happens when you get to traffic lights?
Like, oh God, honestly, the questions you're asking, they were so retarded. I was like, this is honestly like a colorblind person meets a spastic. It was
a drunk spastic.
I can't believe
a drunk colorblind meets a drunk spastic.
I can't believe you're using those words, Alex. That's
colorblind.
Terrible.
It's nothing. What do you mean?
Retarded spastic.
Spastic's still used, isn't it?
I don't think so.
It is now.
I don't think so.
Listen, as a dyslexic colorblind person, I think it's fine for me to use that. Yeah.
Who bashes up wheelchair kids?
Who bashes up wheelchair? Yeah.
I don't mind the Zenith.
Oh, it's in rose gold. Okay, good.
I don't mind it, but I don't see the point of rose gold watches in any case. So it's not my thing.
If I'm going for a rose gold watch, it can't be with a full bracelet, that's for sure. But just for me, because there's two, like rose gold doesn't go. Actually, you have to be particular.
Very particular.
Like skin tone to pull off rose gold.
Yes, well, my tone, I think it
yours
kind of goes well.
Clash.
What's the tone, Michael, that you need?
It's like darker complexion.
Don't be racist now.
No, like my wife could actually
Gareth?
wear rose gold. She does.
Salma
actually.
Hayek of Kolak.
Yeah, she wears rose gold with some of her jewelry. So
Has she got dark hair, your wife?
yep,
Ah.
she's it's almost black.
The Black Irish.
It's like the Spanish side. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm,
Lorraine, no?
yep.
Okay. Okay.
Good. Next.
Good. Next. I like this. Oh, anyway, next. Yeah. All right.
Would you
said
like
that.
talking about the ethnicity of wives? Or what would you like?
He likes to watch. He likes
Oh, the
Zenith.
watch. Do you like
Likes
the
it.
Zenith?
Yeah. Sorry.
He likes a good Zenith. You work in El Primeros a bit? We have.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, not too
Prefer
much. Like that's why I prefer the Rolex.
Prefer the Rolex. Yeah,
I can service that Daytona movement like a Datejust movement.
With
It's
the eyes shut.
it's made to service that one. So yeah.
Really?
Oh, it is. You can access the barrel without disassembling the chronograph mechanism.
I don't know why
It's
Rolex
incredible.
doesn't get Michael on board. Honestly, the positivity he has,
Well, he was on board.
even if Hans Rolex came and killed his entire family, Michael is so devoted to the brand, he'd be like, I think my family probably deserve to be burned alive in their house. Like, I don't know what they did, but
in their refinery.
listen, if it comes between my family and Rolex, I know Rolex are the people to back. And like, there's something to be, it's like it's a nice.
It's
quality.
laudable.
Yeah,
The Mr. Rolex of Kolak.
I actually do like them. Yeah.
And we know, Michael. We know you never
I
say
must
anything bad about them at all.
I must have enjoyed working there. Like, yeah, I just and the servicing. Oh my goodness, I could service them all day long. They're great to service.
Let's move along,
Yeah,
shall we?
Let's do the Bell and Ross next, and then leave the Grand Seiko. Let's leave something that's potentially not too terrible for last.
From that, I assume you don't like the Bell and Ross.
Actually, you know what? I don't mind this Bell and Ross.
I don't either. Yeah,
I'm not normally a Bell and Ross fan, but I don't know why. What's good about this, Michael?
I think the color combination is actually quite cool. It's subdued, like that olive with the black.
I love both those colors.
It's
Some of
not
my
yellow.
favorite
Alex.
Are you
colours.
sure?
It's
What are the
olive.
colors? Well, hang on. What does Alex think the colors are?
Yeah, brown and black. Yeah, beautiful.
Or olive.
Yes, that's what I was about to get to. Yeah,
There is a
olive.
little bit of a little
Brown.
Bit
There's
of
no
green
brown there.
I can see what he's talking about. It is a browny green, which is olive.
Thank you, Michael.
Green. It's green.
Yep.
Green.
So, 42 mil in diameter for a square watch, which means
What's this one called first? The BR0392.
Thank you.
So it's a 2892. It's their kind of classic look.
Mm-hmm.
It is very kind of Special Forces-esque, which I hate from any brand ever, but it has that kind of, it actually looks like something a diver might have strapped to the wrist, right?
Yep. Well, it's not shiny
No
at all.
divers, I know.
It's a military watch, and military watches should never have any sort of shine to them.
Good point.
Yep. And
Big luminous things, but that's okay.
yeah, well, that's only exactly. You just hope that you don't get caught in the dark.
Because divers don't operate in the dark. Military divers. Yeah. Okay. I don't mind the fact that it's actually thick. In this case, with that big flange, big rear, kind of looks all right. My problem is that it's a square watch, and it's a dive watch. A square watch doesn't go together. You don't the whole idea of having a square dive watch for the seals and everything else for a proper dive watch. What do we got? 300 meters. Just doesn't whack a chingy well with me. Having
What you saying 300 meters isn't enough for you?
No, it's fine. It's 300 meters is enough, but it should be a round.
Would be
round
more
seals. No, 300 meters is fine. I said, but
no, but the design of the watch doesn't lend itself to being water resistant. So it takes more engineering, and there's more stuff going on. They've got the screws and stuff. So there's just lots more points where water could go in.
Exactly.
So if it wasn't a square watch, it could be realistically 1,000 meters water resistant.
I didn't say that, but
easily.
Probably.
without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep.
They've done some really cool round watches, Bell and Ross. I don't know why the dive watch has to be. They're a bit like Breitling. They're hung up on the square thing. They've got to go square. They've got to do everything they can to make a square watch, square case. It's got to be like a cockpit.
Breitling? What Breitling?
No,
What's he talking about?
No, I'm talking about the Breitling. They're all the same. We were talking about saying that before. These are all the same. They've got to go square now. They can't do. They've still got the really cool heritage round watches, but they have seemed that all their serious watches need to be in that same format of this. The cockpit layout thingy, instrument thing. It's dive watch. I mean, geez.
Is it not like the Panerai thing? Like they're trapped with the
That's what I mean.
Design
Exactly.
language? Yeah.
When I said Breitling, I meant Panerai.
Okay. Yeah.
Similar. Yeah, they got the whole look thing. And they're trapped. They're trapped. They can't get out. They're trying to get out, but they can't. They're stuck in there. And they're like, spray the cat. Dave.
That's okay. I heard some growling. I was going to have to spray someone. It's fine. Am I the only person that's drinking tonight? I feel like I've had 12 drinks and Michael's on his second whiskey. Rob's still on his first.
I finished the Wakachangi. The Wakachangi.
I had a whiskey before.
This Wakachangi has really sorted me out in terms of my lactose intolerance. Like it's really cleared out the old nasal cavity.
Have I told you that I won a Bell & Ross years ago in a competition?
Really?
You haven't, but this sounds like an amazing story.
So I won a Guinness skateboard. I'll tell you that afterwards. A snowboard, but the Bell & Ross thing sounds better.
So my brother would remember it better, but it was like over a decade ago. I was working at Rolex, and we just entered. Actually, it would have been like 15 years ago, like early in the like.
That's over a decade.
Yeah, and we entered a competition. It was like on one of those old watch forums.
Really?
What are
Time Zone or something?
I think it was Time Zone actually, and Jack Forster might have even been a part of it or something like that.
Jesus Christ!
Like it was way back.
Yeah.
And I found out that I won this watch, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I got it sent to me, and there was even a letter from
Jack Forster.
someone like Forster or something like that, an email saying you've won it. Rose gold and black.
Gold.
Yeah, rose gold and black, and I ended up selling it. I wore it for like 6 months and thought, no, it's a bit big. It's just not my style, and I sold it for thousands. That was my Bell & Ross experience. But yeah, I should search down the old.
You sold it for thousands. What do you mean thousands? How much? Oh, that's nice.
It must have been $6,000 or $7,000 at the time. But it wasn't fully rose gold. It was like rose gold and the PVD case. I've got photos of me wearing the thing. Actually, what I'll do is I'll dig them up and send them to you, and I'll try and find the old emails. And
Alex is wisely nodding.
Yeah, it's.
How did you win it?
It was just like an online competition.
Did you have to send pictures of yourself to Jack Forster?
I'll find out how you had to win it. You might have had to answer a couple of questions, or it was like back then, like that, not that many people were actually into watches online, and it could have been like 2005 or 6 even.
Yeah, that was, you could just bought like Ponium and Daytonas for like $40 each at that point.
Back then, it was pretty early days, so you had a higher chance of winning the competition. But yeah.
I'm using your special Scotch glass, Alex.
Yeah. Ooh. What did I say the first time you had that on the show?
Wanker! I don't know what you said. But
yeah,
like
you get stabbed in the face. Something if you have one of those glasses.
Yeah, I'll try and find the old stuff and send it to you. But yeah.
That's a cool story though about winning the watch.
It's not really that cool, but
skateboard.
All right, go for it.
What with 21 year? No, it wasn't. I said skateboard, but I meant snowboard.
Yeah.
And we're in a pub in Verbier, and I said there's a competition about.
You can't do anything in Perth, can you? It's always like.
Why would I have a snowboard in Perth?
True.
I was in the Alps. I can't remember what Alp it was.
It might have been Saint-Tropez or somewhere.
I think it was my third holiday home.
Yeah, we took the helicopter.
It's called Shona. So we're up holidaying in Shona, and we were tobogganing down.
I'd just taken the private jet before as well, like a day before.
No, I come back with Richard Bill with the private jet, but we're doing heli skiing anyway. We're sitting in a pub après ski, you know.
You're just swirling the.
And I was saying, Oh, there's a competition saying we had to fill out a bit of paper where you've got a Guinness. You had to fill out a bit of paper saying why you like Guinness in a one phrase. And I filled it out, give it in, took off, went home. And they rang me, and my colleagues stayed an extra night because I was staying there for the weekend. I was there the budget. It's a work thing. But it was pre-Richard Mille. It wasn't Richard Mille or even a watch thing. And I'd written something stupid. And I won a freaking snowboard, a really, really good snowboard. So I added I had about 8 snowboards, I think.
Wow.
And that was probably number 8 or 9. They're
8 snowboards.
I used to snowboard a fair bit.
So you don't remember what you wrote?
No, something about a good meal, like a Guinness was being a good meal, like a solid, like a better than a 3-course meal type thing. Or I don't even know what it was. But yeah, you didn't have to write much. Yeah, just have a better saying than the rest of the drunk patrons in the bar. So, and there's a bunch of prizes, and I got this. It was a really cool snowboard. It was a tiny bit small for me. I think my wife ended up using it for a bit.
You're pretty good at snowboarding.
Well, not anymore because I lived in Perth.
No, but I mean, you must have been with eight snowboards.
Oh, I've done a fair bit of it. Yeah. But sorry, can I digress here, Alex? Can I talk about Swiss lifestyle stuff?
You love. Yeah. So you had
we have to hear it.
You had 8 snowboards, but most of them had been chewed by fweens. Once they get into your snowboard engine, they are.
Did you write that name down so you could pronounce it properly?
No, I always remember the fween.
Like my 15th Earl of
I can't remember
Bothwell.
what episode was it where doing that. And you're like, they get in about your cables of your car.
I do.
Cars.
The distributor cables. Yes, true. Okay. Well,
8 snowboards, dozens of Hermes tires.
The tires.
You can just imagine him flying down the mountainside.
Tires.
He's got a hand on each snowboard, a leg on each snowboard. The ties are flapping behind him. They're like, who is that?
Oh, no.
That's the watchmaker from Perth.
His shiny gold tracksuit.
Oh no!
Oh God!
No, but, yeah,
too good.
That's what you do. You do what you do. You snowboard because it's snow.
Yeah, I respect that actually because the only time I've been on a snowboard.
Oh, you respect me? Thank you.
Because the only time I've been on a snowboard is we rented one out and I sat on the thing and went down a hill.
Well, my brother did that when he came over. Yeah, we borrowed one of mine, but my goodness, we took him. I wasn't really thinking. We took him down like double black diamond runs, and he was just a starter. So he's I
have no idea what a double black diamond run is.
Fast as fuck is how
really?
It's kind of the most dangerous. I mean, we'd get off piste and stuff, and in these spots where it was really steep and there's lots of powder, and we're down in the trees and stuff. He'd never snowboarded before. I don't know what I was thinking. We'll go. You'll be okay. Yeah, no worries.
Nearly killed him.
And he's pushing himself up. He's falling over. He's pushing himself up. He's backwards. Pushing himself up straight over his nose. Pushing himself up because he was at the time he was a shearer. My little brother. And he's quite muscly. But at the end of the day, he was just knackered. Yeah. He just didn't want to do a snowboarding again. Didn't want to know about it. His backside was just one big bruise.
So he didn't want to ski.
Well, I wanted him to snowboard. I wanted him to learn how to snowboard. He'd skied before. It wasn't that fun.
Isn't that the thing though? Most people they're like, I've never skied before. Everyone wants to snowboard because that's the kind of fashionable thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's more difficult to snowboard than ski.
It's not more difficult.
Maybe for an expert like you, but
I think it's just because he was over there and we were snowboarding, my missus and I and us, and we were just do it, just learn. He wanted to learn, and basically credit to him. He spent all day. He just didn't give up. He's quite stubborn, like it runs in the family a little bit.
that.
But you have to have a different snowboard to all the conditions, Sometimes you got powder, sometimes you got ice, sometimes you got high, low, you got glaciers, you got low altitude, you got different stuff. So
Were you surprised at how tired he was afterwards?
He wasn't actually that bad. We went out that night.
Oh, okay, but so I mean, so it's funny. It's funny because you mentioned how he was probably quite a fit.
He was quite knackered, but I was surprised. But
like if he hasn't done that before, like those certain muscles.
Yes. His arms were killing him.
Yeah.
And his leg, calf muscles, I guess, but his arms in particular, just from pushing himself up all day. Yeah. He must have fallen over 200 times. Yeah. I don't know, all day. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And what were you just like skiing by him? Like, hey, so you're struggling
snowboarding
there.
by, yes. No, he was okay by the end of the day, but he wanted to do it. So it's like if my brother Grant ever listens to this podcast, yeah, he'll have a good laugh because it was a. But
we'll send it to him.
Well, halfway across, like it's traversing a really steep thing of powder and rocks and stuff, and I'm thinking, and all of a sudden I thought, what am I doing?
Yeah,
and he's just cruising along trying to follow.
And you said he's a shearer, like a sheep shearer.
He was a sheep shearer, and really, yeah. No, he's just a farmer. I mean, he's a farmer.
Yeah.
But at the time he was a lot younger. But we I don't know. We used to every the first 2 years I was in Switzerland. The first not the first year, but the first full snow season in Switzerland. My wife and I went to. I just had to try them all. I had to try all the resorts. There's hundreds of them. So we went to a different resort every single weekend. I missed one. I had a cold or something. One, but the season was probably in 5 months. Every single weekend, different resort. We never drove more than about 2 hours, and we all in Switzerland. I was in Italy and France and stuff, but it was just amazing. It was. And my poor wife, she was like trying to keep up. Okay, we'll go somewhere else. She'd never been to so many different spots, and even the Swiss don't do it because they get their little areas and stick to it. But anyway,
here's sex and skiing. Fittest man in Switzerland.
Skiing anyway. Boarding. Yeah. For 5 years, I mean, 10 years we had no kids, so we were just sort of rocking on. The first place we had in Lausanne. If you go to Switzerland, we're going to go to Lausanne. We meet up there. That's where the Watchnista boys are and a whole bunch of people. We had this apartment up on the top. We could look at the binoculars and look across the lake, and there's a ski resort in France where you could see people snowboarding, skiing down from your lounge room. You can just watch them. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
So we'd go across there on Saturday. And anyway, what were we talking about? What watch were we talking about? The Bell and Ross.
Bell and Ross. It's an easy connection between
I've watched
Bell and Ross and
altitude skiing.
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about competitions.
So I've got this snowboard, which had Guinness written on it about this big.
Yeah.
And that was,
did you? It was a Guinness. That's what I won. Guinness snowboard.
It's actually a black Guinness snowboard. I actually ended up selling it to a Guinness fan on eBay. It was a fortune, and it was brilliant. I did use it. I don't
snowboard, and I would have bought the thing.
Oh yeah. Well,
just hung it on my wall.
Yeah, it sounds like I think it'd be cool hanging on a wall for sure.
We actually I had made this art thing. Whereas I had a bunch of these snowboards all together, and I was going to make up a seat and stuff because my wife had a few by that stage as well. She had some really cool ones. I kept buying her a snowboard every couple of years. She's like, I've got enough snowboards. No, I need a proper one. You need a different board and stuff. And
yeah, so there's different boards for the different snow.
Yeah,
it's a bit like surfing.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's a bit like cheese. It's like you need a different knife depending on like soft cheese, hard cheese.
That's kind of true.
I was thinking of like they're bigger and smaller boards, and the smaller ones are more difficult and maneuverable.
Yeah, but more so the snow. Yeah, it's soft snow powder.
Oh, okay.
If you're snowboarding in a meter of powder or half meter or just or quite rough, you'd have ice cream. Yeah, same.
Blue.
Anyway, I don't know how we got into that.
So how many snowboards do you have now?
I've only got a couple left. I think I've got possibly 3. And
do you know what would be a great snowboard?
What would be a great snowboard? Wakachangi
snowboard.
Or even Milton.
Wait a minute. What about
I don't think Milton snowboard doesn't work as well.
Fifth wrist. Snowboard.
Fifth wrist snowboard. Yeah. I was going to say, did you have a Richard Mille one at any stage?
No. But I did have always a Triple J sticker on my snowboard. I don't know why.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had big Triple J bang the drum stickers, and my brother-in-law used to ask me about it and stuff. I kept doing the Triple J.
Yeah.
All the different Triple J ditties, the hundreds, all the triple J. And I'd do all this stuff, and then he'd copy me, basically. And I'd be just cruising down this.
Normally a podcast, you can't see the other person shaking their head.
No, I was just thinking. I was listening
Just
to a
like this.
podcast earlier
Just
this
looking at
week.
his notes, just crossing that off, crossing this off. We can't go through that now.
No, there was a podcast with a Theo Deal, and he had a Richard Mille
Theo Deal.
snowboard. Yeah,
I had a snowboard, did he?
yeah, from Richard Mille. He and Richard made it. They made it together.
Right, yeah.
Did they?
Well, he
I
helped
heard he's a good mate.
Richard.
I heard he's a good mate of.
I listened to the episode today, and I didn't hear. I don't remember the snowboard.
It was on the kind of director's cut. You need to be part of the Patreon to be able to.
Shut the fuck up.
Right. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. He did a lot of stuff, old Theo.
Yeah.
Sound like a pretty clever guy. Really nice too, by the sound of it.
Good
Awesome.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
top guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty close
stuff
connection
is like
with Roger Smith and
3%.
Pretty much everybody.
We go into a watch and we're like, okay, we'll talk about it for 3% of the time, and there's just 97% us just talking absolute bollocks about other.
Yeah.
No, look.
I tell you about the time a Queen ate my snowboard. That's basically.
A Fwin attacked my Mini.
Yeah.
My Mini Cooper S.
Ah,
All the gear.
what is a win?
Michael
You're
doesn't know what a
supposed to be
Fwin
our
is.
super fan. You're supposed to listen. What episode was it, Rob? Was it?
What was it?
Was
I mean, I'm sure I heard it, but I just
Number 2, 3? I don't know. I don't
Who
know.
was? No, was it not? Was it one Michael was on?
Well, yeah, it was.
Maybe I was so drunk in it.
Was that maybe after he left?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was.
No, maybe it was Paul Carter.
That was such. Oh, he was, because we're talking about the people, the animals in Tasmania.
Yeah, you're like,
okay.
oh, can I talk about stuff other than
Portwood, finished in port casks, aged 21 years.
Actually,
Portwood.
I was telling
I'll be back in a minute.
one of the guys at work about
I'm going to the toilet.
Okay, we'll have a monologue.
Yeah, you haven't been yet, have you? You're overdue.
I was close to just pissing in the sink over there.
You
Good,
still can. Just put yourself on mute.
Authentic, genuine.
genuine. Yeah, I was telling one of the guys at work about our potential booze sponsorship, and I said how I'd sent the worst episode about me beating up the
No, keep going.
wheelchair guy, and he said that isn't your worst one. This is you should have sent him the one where the guy's shitting on someone else's chest. And this is the one episode this guy from work's listened to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was
Paul
just like,
Carter.
I finally listened to one of your podcasts, Alex. Some guy's shat in someone's chest. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you people?
Oh,
And I thought maybe that should have been the one to send to the guy. But anyway, he liked the wheelchair abuse, so it's fine.
I have to talk to Paul tomorrow. Actually, I've got on my list here of things to do. Call him about something else. So okay, get him back on. Yeah, I had a couple of guests, as well. Some other ones that you'll like. I'm lining them up.
I think we just have. It's like you, me, and Michael.
Mm.
It's like I'm just. I like the everyone else. All the other podcasts are like, need to get this person on. Need to get that.
You don't want anybody else on. Just us. It's a camaraderie.
I like the. I don't know. It's like why I go to the same place for breakfast and cocktails every weekend. Like he just.
Why not? Yeah.
Why take a risk? Although I don't know.
Yeah, but Paul's good value. He adds a bit of a different dimension.
Yeah, he should 100% have his own podcast.
We've been talking about that. Yeah, that's actually what I need to talk to him about.
Oh, are you and he gonna do a podcast?
You never know.
Who's gonna edit it?
It's
It's never gonna come out, is it?
No,
We've
not
done
really.
80 episodes, but we're just arguing over who's gonna actually edit it.
We'll just do like my YouTube ones. We'll just do this and then just put it up.
I don't think you even have the technical know-how to even put it out on the internet.
You'd be surprised. You would be very surprised.
I'd
be surprised.
Wait a minute, would this be part of the Fifth Wrist Network?
Could be. Could be.
Okay, if the price is right,
Why not?
$0.
But a lot of rum. Milton's rum.
That's the only thing we've got.
Yeah. No, I'm overdue to talk to Paul. It's been like 2 weeks, 10 days.
You gonna get him back on?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Want to come on for that one, Michael?
I'd
You've
be happy just to listen to it.
Okay.
The combination with you three was fantastic.
I like Paul.
Who's
You
the guy
always
you got?
know if Rob introduces you to somebody,
Yeah.
like they're like a solid
Guy.
solid
Yeah.
guy.
He's oh man, there's some good episodes. Yeah.
There's some other guys. There's another guy in West Perth. There's another guy. There's some guys we haven't even talked about or you don't know about that are, kind of like that.
Mm.
But he's one off. He's a one off, definitely. Yeah.
You're gonna get
he come to my event. Sorry, Michael. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to cut you off again. He come to my event and he was outside some of the time because he goes out to punch a dart, as he says, goes out and have a smoke. And my wife was out the back, out the front, sorry, as well, because she'd heard it all before. And he's just telling us some story, and she was just wetting herself out the front. Anyone else is inside listening to my thing, and I thought, well, it's Paul. I was going to have a cigarette. I was still doing my talk, and she's outside, and she come in, and she was just in tears. There was tears streaming down her eyes because he's just telling about a story that I've never even heard of. I mean, she gave me the rundown, and I had heard bits of it, but so funny. We'll have to get him on the interview techniques, his job interview techniques when he comes back on. Anyway,
he's a good storyteller. He's
a great story. It's what he is. It's what he does.
It's
just the storytelling is.
Yeah. The delivery of it and just it's good. Yeah.
I mean, he's never been up a guy in a wheelchair though, which I think speaks volumes for a storyteller. Really.
No, but he's blown up a monkey. I mean,
a monkey. You can blow up a monkey in any country. That's legal in pretty much every country in the world. You cannot.
Shout out to our mate Paul Carter.
Did he listen? He doesn't listen. Does he?
I've got part of his books there. That's how I've got 3 books left.
Michael and the Stevie Breggy suite. What's the book by the bedside?
Yep. I can't remember the name of it, but
my mum thinks I work in a whorehouse, but I'm a piano player and an oil.
I haven't even read it yet.
Yeah.
What?
No, I haven't read it yet. I'm still on
Michael.
You have your own copy.
I've got my own copy.
Okay.
Signed and everything, and came with a Geneva Blue Blue card, and yep.
Oh, you got the posh version. You got the VIP version. Yeah. Right.
So
I know you might not read much. You spend more time listening to podcasts, but
yeah,
if you read one book this year, that's got to be the book.
Okay, I'm finishing off. I'm finishing off something.
Is that a comic?
No, what is it? What is it? Oh yeah, no, I'm almost finished off one book. I'm probably 3/4 through it, and then I'll read that one next. Then, yeah, Paul Carter one.
I think you should. Yeah.
Yep.
Before the movie comes out, then you'll be able to tell the people, oh yeah, I read the book years ago. Yeah. Anyway, you might have your own chapter in the next book if you play your cards right. Now we'll have our own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex will definitely get a mention in the next book. We've been planning this already.
Just like Felix in
Felix.
The cat. Hell.
What do you mean, Felix? Oh, Felix. You're Felix in Melbourne.
Felix Schultz. Man,
Felix the cat.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Is he writing a book?
No, he's got it. He's in.
This is going to end so fucking messy. I'm just telling you right now. Why would you bring this up, Michael? Okay, go on.
We can just stop now if you want.
No.
Who's the guy with Hodinky?
From the Green Ato.
The guy diving.
I mean, in his defense,
oh man, what's his name?
Normally,
Heaton?
The duller the person, the better the author. Apart from Paul Carter.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I just think
Michael's
it's cool
thinking about that. He's going to take a bit more longer.
Yeah, because
the closer together their eyes are, the better.
I don't know him. Like I was trying to think.
You can't shoot him.
I was trying to think of which one he was, and because I haven't listened to him that much, but I just think it's.
Cool. I haven't listened to him at all. The other podcast. What's it called?
I can't think of his first name. Oh man, it's Heaton. His name's Heaton, isn't it? Jason. That's it.
Yeah.
He named one of the characters in his book after Felix Schultz, and he's like a villain in it or something, is he?
Yeah.
That's
I think that is cool.
That is cool. If someone put me in a book one day, Like that would be awesome. I don't know what I'd be doing, but
The village.
I'll put you in my
pedophile.
book.
Yeah.
I'll put you
What?
both in my book. It's all right.
the village pedophile.
How did he get away with it for so long? We just don't know. They should have got him sooner. One of my friends in Tasmania, who's called Lindsay Tuffin, who's an old journalist. His friend, he was friends and drinking partners, a lot like we are, with a guy called Richard Flanagan, who's a famous Australian author. He's won like Booker Prize winner or whatever. So anyway, the Richard Flanagan, who he calls the Flan Man, put him in one of his books as a defrocked priest, which is a lot like how I'll put you into one of my books as the village paedophile, Michael. But it was just
Frocked watchmaker.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I need to befriend some more authors, don't I? That
It's not me.
Yeah, exactly. It's not you.
I thought you were going to say I need to go to the toilet.
I've been in 8 books.
Where's he going?
Village paedophile in every one. So you need to keep on good terms with everyone as well. It's important.
Yeah. Felix.
Oh, I haven't quite
Felix.
drunk enough yet. I've got to try and catch up with you guys.
There's no catching up with me in terms of lactose intake anyway.
I think I'll make myself a white Russian. If you guys,
You
if, I,
should.
if you
Do
guys have promised to stay here another 10 minutes, I could go and make myself a white Russian.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, go for it.
What are we going to talk about, Alex?
This size?
What?
This
I've got 25%
I don't know how
battery
many people
power
will be
left.
able to go through and see how many pints I've had.
Are we
but-
done with the Bell and Ross?
Yeah. Close it.
Let's close it.
Alex doesn't know what colour the dial is, so let's just close it.
Yep.
Brown.
I'm out of watches.
Now, next is
The Grand Seiko. Honestly,
Next
this
is
is
the Grand
so
Seiko.
creamy.
You
I
know
wish
what?
I'd got just a regular milk.
The
You're
Grand
gonna-
Seiko.
Yeah, this. Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to just?
No, Rob's going for a white Russian.
Yeah, go for your
Rob.
White Russian. What are we going to talk about, Alex?
This is the watch. I actually played with it about 2 weeks ago.
Is that the same one?
The same one. The
Yeah. I
The
want to
one-
wait. I want to wait and hear your thoughts on it.
I'm not going to make myself a white Russian. No way. No way.
You just
Yeah.
said you were.
Yeah, I could, but you'll be able to be gone by the time I get back. It'll
What
take
are you
me.
talking about?
Are you ready to keep rock? Michael's only got 25
No.
minutes left,
No, 25
Percent.
percent,
which is how many minutes?
which is probably
We're
longer than
almost
that.
coming up for 3 hours, so
Yeah.
another hour.
Yeah, it's a fair. Yeah, it's getting. Yeah, so you'll be fine.
I'm
Oh,
so
I'm
glad
out
I'm
of
an
bricks.
Australian citizen now that I can spend more quality time with people over the internet. It's good.
You are actually. Yeah. Welcome to.
Yeah. Cheers.
Welcome to our mob crew.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm so glad I get to spend time with you guys tonight and do the shit.
I didn't even
normally
know
do.
that's what you were going for. Like, I had no idea. So the fact that you.
Alex didn't either. He thought it was something else.
I was
thought it
like
was
a library membership.
He's filling out a
and
form
went
for,
wrong. Yeah.
for a porn tryout.
That's a big deal, man. So did you go to the local hall and did you get a plant as a gift?
Plant? I mean, a
What?
plant.
Yeah, like you go for the ceremony and
Like a hashish, like a
no, like a
marijuana.
a typical Australian
Did I
plant.
tell you? I told you guys when I bumped into ScoMo, right? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I probably got it because that time I bumped into ScoMo when
Yeah.
he was going into the cafe. And then I was remembering when you go into the Wi-Fi here, the next closest Wi-Fi comes up and the Wi-Fi name is ScoMo is a fucktard. It's the next one that comes up. Rob, come on.
Rude.
Where's your
What?
White Russian? Let's go.
Yeah, it's in the house.
You're not going to get one?
Well, I can. But you sure you're going to be here when I get back?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going to go pee. Michael, you do it. Michael, why don't you do an advertisement for your upcoming show with the Lady Watchmakers?
The Lady Watchmakers. Hang on.
No, but when is
Why
this
am I
gonna
being
release?
invited?
Yeah, just do like a monologue ad. I'm going to go and pee. Rob, you get your White Russian.
I got to finish this first.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll talk about something. I'm going to look for a topic. Come straight onto SJX. Well, that's interesting. Langenzone 1815 Ratrapant Honey Gold. Very cool. Oh, very nice. Got to like their movements. Yeah, so everyone has to tune into appreciating time, which is actually not that easy to tune into, because if you go into podcasts and type in appreciating time, you're probably not going to find it. So the best way to find it, if you want to listen to appreciating time, is to go into Fifth Wrist Radio and scroll down until you see AT. So it's not appreciating time at all, is it, Alex?
What are you talking about? What was that?
I'm trying to tell listeners and viewers how to get to appreciating time. Because it's not that easy at all. You can't just type in appreciating time. You have to go to Fifth Wrist Radio, scroll down until you find AT. AT, that's all I get. 2 letters. AT.
You get 2 letters too many. You can't look it up on Spotify.
I don't think so. I think if you type in Michael Woods, I don't think it even comes up. I think if you type in some of my guest names, it'll come up.
I've actually started to create a playlist on Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't have one for you yet, but if you if you type in Defining Time, there's a playlist for the Defining Time show, and I've done one for independent thinking.
How do you create it?
You just anyone can create a playlist, so you just go to each episode and add it to and create a custom playlist and make it public.
Yeah. So can I? You have to do it for Fifth Wrist though.
Well, this comes up under it's created by Alexander.
Yeah.
JC.
So you have to do it.
No, but you can see it. You should be able to see it if you search for Defining Time.
Yeah, but what about appreciating time?
Well, I haven't bothered to that. You've only got 4 episodes.
Jesus, there's not 4 episodes. Jesus,
I'll get around to eventually. And I'm about to create independent.
Let's just give it all to Anthony and Roman.
Fucking hell! I'm about to create independent channels for each show as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. Oh, so okay. Yeah, I get it. So you go into so if I go into Fifth Wrist, let's have a look.
Just go to, are you on Spotify?
Yeah, I'm on Spotify.
Just go to Spotify and type in Defining Time in the search.
Sante.
Oh, so what if I went into Fifth Wrist? Sante. Geez, that looks good. Yeah, that looks really good.
Finish up a bottle of Kahlua. Almost finish a bottle of
looks very white, Rob.
Oh, trust me, it's not all white. That's you. How can you tell? Your eyes are freaking. You can't see.
I was actually saying that, and I was looking at mine, and mine looks pretty white as well.
Defining Time isn't coming up in the search anyway.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, what if I go into Fifth Wrist? Does it show playlists under Fifth Wrist or
maybe?
What are we looking for, gents?
Well, I was doing a little monologue and saying how people, if they want to go listen to Appreciating Time, you can't just type in Appreciating Time. You have to go into Fifth Wrist Radio and scroll down until you find an AT episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he messed it all up. He changed all the thing, all the SEO stuff. He's just
like the work I put into this terrible experiment of a thing is.
I got some nuts.
Just wait till we've got our own rum.
Cashew.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what about what's Romans? Independent thinking.
Should I have myself on mute?
Independent thinking doesn't even come up. You would. That's
Well,
strange.
Okay, I'm going to fix it, but I must have made them private or something. I don't know.
You
No,
broke
but
it.
that's strange that doesn't search. That doesn't come up with anything on mine. I must be searching it incorrectly.
No, I'm saying I might not have made it public.
Oh, right.
You messed it up. I'm going to dive in here.
I had someone message me earlier and they said, I've sent a review in.
5 times.
No,
Like
a
mine.
month ago. When's it going to be published? And I was like, well, there's 34 or something ahead of you. And he's like, so it's not going to be out for 3 months. And I was like, yeah. I'm trying to get them out quicker. He's like, oh, okay. I said, I'm waiting for some rich old lady to come and sweep me off my feet and let me do this full time, and I can post reviews all the time.
Okay.
We just get so many reviews coming in all the time. It's difficult.
Yeah, mine?
Yeah, I did.
You read it?
I read the first.
No, I didn't.
What?
Sorry. No, I didn't.
You didn't read it.
No, I did.
I could
Did
tell you didn't read it because of the quality of the writing. Yeah.
I knew your mum would edit it and make it all good. Yeah, no, it's pretty crap, but still.
No, it's a good. It's actually, I was reading one of your other ones again recently.
I haven't done the other ones. Oh, that was ghostwritten.
The older ones.
Spray. Give him a spray for me, Dave. Out.
Fidel. I need to spray Fidel.
Alex got ticked off me then, Rob. I actually got him fired up. I saw
really?
Yeah. I said, "Oh, you're gonna do it all for independent thinking and defining time," or was it Anthony and Roman? But you forget about me. And he's like, oh, "Fucking hell."
Listen, you can all fucking burn. I don't care. As long as Rob and I are here, that's the thing. That's the best thing to be able to say. I'm like, doesn't matter if everyone goes. Anthony, Roman, Benoit, Charith, you, everyone. Doesn't matter. As long as just Rob and I at the end.
Oh,
I don't
Jesus,
care.
what about me?
No, you're
One of the
God,
three
Michael.
amigos.
Listen, you put me in this position.
One of the three amigos.
No, you can pop in every now and again.
I want to say that podcast that Rob screwed up the other night. I wasn't even disappointed. I got to the end of it and I was like, at least I had a chat with my three.
We had a laugh.
My
This didn't
two
matter.
buddies.
And
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was another like 3. Was that like 3.5 or something?
It was long.
Ours was long.
Yeah. And that's the same thing that at the end. I think anyone else would have been like, fuck, it's gone. Oh, God.
I didn't give a shit.
Hours about, and that's the thing with us. It's like, I really
went to-
don't give a fuck.
I was a bit disappointed. I mean, I was
You don't
panicking.
even know how many people listen to the podcast.
No, I don't. Does anybody? I don't care if nobody listens.
I went to bed and I was like, yeah, we had a fun chat. I didn't care. Like eventually you just like, you don't care if they're released or not. You know? Eventually you don't.
It's probably
Unless
the best way to be about something.
if you have a big guest on and it does that, then yeah, it's a little bit annoying, obviously. But yeah.
Imagine actually when I was having a pee earlier, like thinking about the JCB episode. How does it not have 1 billion views?
1 billion. Does any of his episodes have 1 billion views?
No, but if anything was ever going to have 1 billion views,
oh yeah, with me getting fucked up at the end, and yeah, I know.
like
People haven't found it yet.
JCB, and then forget JCB, all the other stuff afterwards was the best bit.
Yeah.
How can it not have 1 billion views? I don't understand.
Well, it just hasn't been advertised or shared that much.
But imagine
my version.
You know, you fucked up by splitting it into 2, or making me split into 2 and then sending it to you so you could post the 2.
Cheers, mate.
cheers.
Look at the ring of Philadelphia
Ring of
cheese
fire.
on this thing.
I should have put some cream in mine as well as the milk. And the
I
vodka.
almost bought
and the
regular
Kahlua.
milk, and I was like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get some.
Good choice.
No, it was a terrible mistake.
I'm getting a snack after you two. Just be
I got snack right here. I got
He's gonna go and
macadamias, cashews.
deep fry some dim sums.
dim sim. No, what do you call them? The spring rolls he does, or dim sims or whatever.
Yeah.
Can you hear me chewing?
No.
Good. So I'm getting quite familiar with that corner of Michael's kitchen.
Yeah.
Do we?
It looks like a nice kitchen.
It's a great kitchen.
What about
Sorry,
my
mate.
employee
Made
of
himself.
the month
Employee of the
award?
month. Is that over the corner on the floor?
Oh,
Where is it?
there.
Go and get it. What's he doing? Oh.
Well, I'll tell you, I was in the Longines boutique when I
Yeah,
met
you
up
told
with Shelley, and I was like, oh,
Chalet?
there's Shelley, there's Shelley, and then her roommate
Shell petrol
Shella.
station. Your Shell petrol station.
Yeah, Shell petrol
met up with
station.
her?
She's Shelley.
You met up
And-
with her?
Yeah, she works in Longines, and
Oh.
they had one of these, and I was like, oh, I've got one of those.
You didn't tell me it was her.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I went out for
Yeah.
drinks with her.
Oh,
Her friend had to go home. She mixed gin and red wine, which is not
Shell
a good,
B.
not a good. Not a
No, I
good
didn't know it
idea.
was her. I sent her a message again the other day on Insta. No, I have another cashew.
Yeah, no, she's loving the show. She works at Longines and she's learning all about watches through us, which is
I wasn't aware she
recipe
was
for fucking disaster.
nightmare. Okay.
She's
This
a big fan
spiral-
of you, Rob.
Sorry?
She's a big fan of yours.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's
to come
gone
to Perth
downhill.
fast.
All we're doing is eating snacks on here now. All right,
Can't reach the freaking book.
let's talk about the Seiko.
Yeah.
All right. I started while you guys were gone. I started looking up SJX and I saw a Langenzone 1815 Rattrapant honey gold.
Attrapant.
Rattrapant.
Is
Very-
your book signed, Rob?
They're all signed, mate. I get them signed whatever you want.
Oh, I
do
thought
you
mine
mean?
was special just for me. It said like,
Oh yeah. Mine
Don't-
doesn't say.
don't
Mine doesn't
give
say.
monkeys
Alex.
the clap or something. I can't remember what it said.
Mm.
Okay, what do you want to look at, Michael? Langenzone?
No.
Friend of the show?
We're going on to the next watch.
Yeah.
Up close, Grand Seiko 60th anniversary high beat SLGH003. What does SLGH stand for?
Super long, good hours. This is probably the least offensive watch we've covered
Yep.
tonight.
Mm-hmm. This
Yep.
for
Someone ask me
yeah,
a question?
for all the people out there thinking that we're just going to start bashing Seiko or Grand Seiko.
This is shit.
I don't mind this. I like it.
No, I don't mind this at all. It looks like a great
Yep.
everyday. Well, it's a limited edition. Okay.
I like
Yeah, I
it,
know.
but
Yeah.
it, I think in these days, if you're Grand Seiko, you got to go full anti Scaramanga and have a spring drive.
Right.
High beat doesn't really do much for me. Interestingly,
The fact
Or
that
not-
they've got
or
a
not
spring
interesting.
drive technology and they then put out high beat mechanical, like
yeah,
it doesn't make sense. But I
Well-
still like the watch.
I had a good look at it. I played with it. I played with it. It. I like a beautiful, beautiful dial, but then it's just a bit, it's just like what's that photo?
So how does it feel on the wrist?
Beautiful, Michael.
Is it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What's Alex laughing for? Nice
What
watch.
you said it.
Is it worth that? Is it
No.
worth that?
I don't think so.
How much is
Yeah,
it?
it's still a fair bit, isn't it? It's
And a
still
lot
like
of money.
it's 9,000 something US. Is it?
Serious?
I think so.
Who knows that much? Hang on.
9,700 US.
That's a lot of money.
That's 10 grand US, pretty much.
I'd
That's a lot of
rather
money.
snowflake, the titanium snowflake.
Oh yeah.
So I was, you get to it and you look. Yeah, I like it. I like the look of it, and then you get to the
like it
price,
too.
and once again, as you said in that episode, the price just baffles me. That's a
Oh,
lot.
I didn't
of
say
money.
it. Alex
Like
said it.
what is 10? What is like that's close to 10,000 US? What is that in Australian dollars?
Or $80,000.
A lot. It's like a wheelbarrow full of gum nuts.
Gum leaves.
And gum leaves. It's
Let's
thrown in
see.
for change. Do you want me to check for you?
Check it.
Yeah,
Come on,
if
Rob.
How
it's-
much?
Yeah,
How much?
9,700 US.
Here we go.
9,700 years. Boom, boom, boom. 9.7. 12.65. 12 and a half grand.
Okay, that's not as much as I thought actually, but yeah, it's still
Well,
still
my
a
thought.
fair, it's still a
Decent
fair
amount.
bit.
Yeah, it's a fair bit, all right.
Okay. Should any non-precious metal watch cost over $5,000?
Yeah,
That's a good
'Cause-
question.
it doesn't come down to the case, like especially when you're talking about independence and movement finishing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The steel, you could have a steel watch by any brand, and if it's a complicated or finished really nicely, could be
Okay.
tens of thousands.
That's not made by hand. That's not
Right.
like a Roger Smith or Ricky.
Right. So we're gonna.
Ricky. We're going to call him Ricky from now on.
So we're gonna. So we under 10 grand.
Like this is a mass-produced watch.
Yeah, but so is this.
So you're gonna. So every Rolex is gonna be.
Cardboard box.
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to go and get my Richard Mille box collection, which is extensive now? People
Don't
keep
know how to open
sending me birthday presents in Richard Mille pouches.
This is a tie.
Hermes tie. I love the idea of one day going to Rob's house and he's like, "Can you get me a spoon out the drawer and open the drawer?" And it's got 40 Hermes ties in it. He's like, "Oh, that's where all those ties are."
This is a Philip. This is a Patek Philippe tie.
Oh,
I've got some Rolex ties, but yeah.
Oh,
Patek.
well.
Wow. It's no
MS.
MS.
Anyway,
So what were we talking about? Sorry.
mass-produced watch.
Yeah.
Should it be more than $5,000 non-precious metal?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Stupid
Otherwise-
question.
Yeah.
10?
Otherwise,
You said it was a great question a minute ago, Rob. 12
Yeah.
grand?
What do you eat anyway? Ah,
Babes.
you
You can
win.
take the boy out of Colac, but you can't take Colac out the boy.
Yeah, no, it's Alex. That's nothing to do with the metal, what it's in or whatever. That's not important. Okay, it's kind of important, but that's not the main thing.
No,
Yeah.
I know in terms of how long it takes to make the thing, but this is still a mass-produced watch.
so what
Like
about
at what point, like what's okay, guys, what's the most expensive mass-produced watch in the world?
and that's a hard one to answer because what's masturbation? How do you
What's
how do you-
masturbation?
It's we'll get to that later.
How do you
It's-
class mass produced?
It's more about the techniques and the methods, I think, like how it's produced that has limited
So
human
Richard Mille,
intervention.
Richard Mille could be
Richard, yeah, it
Yeah.
could be.
Hmm.
The certain models, yes, the base models. Mm. That's probably
we've
most
gone over
expensive
the
mass-produced.
Zaratsu stuff before and how big Shane at work can do a hell of a good Zaratsu polish on most things.
So what about all of the people and the money spent on
Think of all the people.
on testing and prototyping and
yeah,
the engineering behind different complications and testing materials and new escapements, like all of that stuff.
okay. Michael,
Without
do you believe the price
So-
is tied to what it costs to produce and develop
Yes.
the watch?
Yeah,
100%?
I
I don't think there's any bullshit in there at all.
I think when a company invests a decade or even just a number of years in something, they've got to, it's an investment for a reason. They've got to get money back for it. Otherwise, all of these brands that are selling watches that are under $5,000, they're using technology that was built by the brands, the bigger brands, or the independents, whatever, that have done that before. They're just using other people's shit. Okay. If a brand goes and develops an escapement, then one day someone else will just use it. Okay. That brand that develops it has to get that money back.
I still think at a certain point, we need to look at the brands trying to position themselves in the greater watch ecosystem, Rob likes ecosystem. And they're like, okay, we're going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Omega's there, Rolex is here, all these different AP. I think that still comes into it.
How do you
Like
mean?
an Egyptian. I still think brands look at other brands and see where they're positioned and the type of product they've got and how much they charge. And there is definitely a race to the top, as we are in a race to the bottom in terms of podcast quality and conversational exchange between co-hosts. These people are definitely like, okay, let's maximize profits. There's definitely that, I think. I mean, you can see, I think even over the last 5 years, you can see the cost. I'm not talking about vintage watches. You can see the there's definitely people testing the boundaries of how much they can charge for a watch. Do you disagree, Michael?
Yeah, I disagree.
Well,
I disagree.
as employee of the month, Daniel
there,
Wellington, I don't think you're in any position to really disagree.
There might be companies testing the boundaries, but they're not going to. They might as well not do anything. They might as well just pack up and go home. Like, unless they get paid for doing this shit.
Some award. Hang on. I haven't got an employee of the month.
We need to use some examples too, because
keep talking.
We need to use some examples. Like if Rolex, say for instance, chooses to develop a mechanism and an alloy or something over a number of years, and they choose to price it at whatever. First of all, no one's forced to buy the product.
No, but there's still like, if everyone's kind of like jostling for their own position in the market, it still is pushing you to a certain price point that might not be representative of what the value of the watch actually is. I think we're all lucky enough to be educated to a certain extent through what we've done in the industry to be able to pick up a watch and have a general feel for what the actual value of the watch is. I mean, even with my limited experience as half a watchmaker, I can still pick up something and go like $15 for Rob, right?
All right. So the fact that, if you pick it up, fine. And
$38. Like,
all right. First of all, we're talking about watches here.
When you raise your finger to me, Michael Woods,
we're talking about watches. It's not fucking serious.
These it is to me. I don't know why people keep on saying it's not serious.
We're passionate about it, but they're watches. They're a luxury item. If people don't want to buy them and they can't afford it, they don't have to. It's not going to live. You're not going to live. You're not going to live or die depending on whether you can afford a watch, right? Secondly, when I heard your podcast the other day, Rob and the Regulator.
Yeah, number one's about.
And I was listening to you talk about the Pateks. I was disagreeing.
Oh, here we go. Is this a segue coming?
Yep. I was disagreeing so much because all it was you guys looking at the watches front on, pretty much, and saying it's boring. It's boring, and also, is it?
Because it was boring.
And is it that complicated? Like, they've just got they've got actually Rob liked you liked the three the
I like that.
You liked it.
We all like that.
But it's still pretty bland.
All right, but you're looking at a front shot.
This isn't
the home shopping fucking network, Rob.
I'm going for the most
Wrist checks and
Wrist
the same
checks
thing. Yeah.
in one thing.
Like, did you take some time to look into how difficult it would be to make those calendars line up for a
No,
perpetual
like
calendar?
I like that, but I was talking about Patek overall as a brand is pretty boring and pedestrian.
But if they went and did something out there, if they went and did something different, they'd be just like another AP.
Even when they do stuff different, like they did that pilot.
That pilot, yeah, exactly.
Like it's all still AP. It's not AP. It's still all
AP.
It's still all Patek. There's still there's a kind of dullness to it that you can't quite get away from, and that is part of their thing. Like I'm not really like slagging off what they do that much because that's their business practice and that's what they're about and that's how they make money. Like I don't think there's nothing really bad about it. They found their niche, but you can't really say that it's exciting.
Yeah. No, it's I suppose they I better be a bit more quiet. I think I've just woken up some of the family.
No.
I'm getting too excited.
Rob's turned all his lights. Oh no. Okay.
You just thought he was
He's just gone to bed. He's done it, Michael.
No, but like Patek and Rolex, like they do what they do, and people buy them because of what they are. They're probably not. They probably wouldn't buy them if they did something completely different either. Like that, it's hard for them to be completely creative because they're set in their lane, and it's like if they were completely outrageous, like Rolex have got Tudor there to be a little bit crazy. If Rolex started to be really outrageous, they'd start to lose some credibility, like AP is doing right now. Like Rolex is playing it smart, Patek is playing it smart. Like that's smart, not making too many waves, just like trying to. They're still developing some amazing stuff. Like if you look at what Patek's developed, like they brought out a all steel annual calendar, I think, this year, which I really liked. But that Patek inline perpetual calendar, that's incredible stuff.
I like that. Build that.
Yeah,
but I know we've had this discussion as well before.
But you're talking about design in general, I suppose.
Yeah. But going back to, I know you kind of steered us towards this Patek thing, but even back to this Grand Seiko and value and production costs, and something I've talked to you about before, which is the God's sake, like we have a once in a lifetime opportunity for this industry, and if we fuck it up or we allow people to fuck it up, it's a luxury thing. It's like the most luxurious thing at this point in time because it's not only not required, it is less effective than anything else at doing the job that you needed to do. And I still think in terms of value, if we take the piss too much, you can't get that back. It's like we're talking around about Panerai and all these things.
You're on mute.
The cat went on the mute.
Well done, cat.
Yeah, if you take advantage of it too much, take the piss too much, then you spoil that thing. And like I was saying, like we're talking earlier on about kind of old Panerai, if you ruin the customer experience or you take away the trust from that part of the industry or the kind of sales environment, then you can't get it back. So I think it's very important that we don't take the piss and just charge as much as we can for watches. Are
you saying that we shouldn't take the piss out of Panerai? Or the Panerai
I'm saying that no brand should take the piss in terms of what they charge for things. There shouldn't just be and even JCB, our good old friend, when he did the episode with us, which was a legendary episode 100, he said there needs to be a connection between luxury goods and actual luxury. It can't just be you call it luxury and charge luxury. there has to be a luxury aspect of it. It needs to be something that it needs to be
Tangible,
either a
like a
quality
quality.
product or something that is actually limited. You can't have like a 10,000 limited edition. You can't have like there's just we call it luxury and then people have to buy into that shit. You can't have it like that. And I believe that's very important with regards to the watch industry because wait a minute. Because then you could ruin this whole thing, and I think it is a very delicate ecosystem. You can tell even with what's going on in terms of prices, everything's all over the place. It's like it's not a stable thing. There's massive fluctuations, and if we don't take care of that, then everything can get fucked up real quick, and we're all going to be working in a call center. Luckily, together, maybe we all can work in the same team, and we'll always be like charming bastards on the phone together.
Well, you look at that. You look at the Philips auction on the weekend.
Yeah,
and obviously you can see that Rolex, FP Journe, Patek are still all on the same track going up. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of watches there that didn't get the credit, and they were surprisingly low. It's about demand, popularity. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're better watches. We can't control what people think is cool and what is in demand. Like they're just in demand.
Rob and his 2.5 Watchmakers G-Shock. He told us it was cool and we should buy one, and we did.
It's a snowballing effect. It's a number of factors that go into that snowballing effect. That FP Journe's going to continue like this for probably a few more years, and then it'll sort of slow down.
No, not until I sell my Elegance.
But I mean, Rolex just managed to maintain that it's
like Marbo.
The lollies.
Well, it's like, there's a lot of brands that have their moment there for a few years or whatever, 5 years, some are 10 years, like a Panerai. All right. Rolex just manages to maintain it each year, just slowly, just every year they're doing something else. They might plateau occasionally, but they're constantly just going like that. And I think you won't, like, if you're talking about values and prices of stuff, that's just going to be the way it is. It's not necessarily related to the quality. I mean, there is something to that, but it's just in demand. It's just the demand from. Can you pinpoint one thing that makes it what it is? I don't know.
Any other company or industry, if there was such demand for the product, you would put your pricing up until it hit that demand and evened out. And watches, they don't do that. Like, that's the thing people always say. Business advisors always say, okay, if somebody speaks to a business advisor and says, I've got so many requests for business, like I can't keep up with it. They just say, okay, put your pricing up until that levels out, until you stop getting requests. But the watch industry doesn't do that. And that's kind of...
So you want them to put their pricing up?
Well, what would that change? Let's say Rolex put the price of the Submariner up to what it goes for in the grey market.
$20,000.
What would that do? How would that affect the overall? Why wouldn't they do that?
But you're talking about but making more of them.
No. Make the same amount. How would that change things? Why don't Rolex do that? That the reality is because the reality is that's how much their watches go for. Their subs go for
but
8,
then they
14,
would also
16, 18, 20, whatever.
But then they would also be seen to be just reacting to the public. And they're not a company that reacts. They're a company that just says, this is what we believe we sell it.
You think that would affect their business? Do you think that would affect how people...
I think it would. I think they'd be seen as just pretty weak and just like they're all right. They're going to go with the flow. Why
not though? Like, the money's going someplace else. Somebody's taking their brand new product and then buying it and then selling it on, and they're making that money. I think it's more like a thing where, like, why we might as well make that money.
So as long as
Patek did it, did they not? They put up their Nautilus pricing by 25% or whatever it was at a certain point.
But maybe there was a good reason for that too.
Yeah, it was not. I thought it was to do this very thing, to match up with, or to close that gap between what things were going for.
Don't know, but I think Rolex, as long as they're
Get a Hermes tie on, Rob.
As long as watch companies,
I got a Patek tie here.
As long as it's working for them, why change it? Like, and because the companies that actually react and change year to year or for every few years, they're not going to be the ones that hang around. They're going to just do what customers like. They're going to be changing all the time, and they're going to be weak.
Listen, I think Rolex, it does work for Rolex the way it is, but I think it speaks for how volatile the market is. They don't just make that extra money and go and match the pricing for what things go for. It's not like it's a 6-month thing or a 1-year thing or a 2-year thing.
It's like a decade thing sometimes.
Yeah. So why not just...
I remember selling my Daytona for $9,000.
Yeah.
And that was only 2011 or 12. 2010 even maybe. And so that was only just over 10 years ago. And you could get them everywhere and they weren't like, like it could, in another next 10 years, it could happen again. And then what are Rolex going to do? Drop their prices drastically? No, they're going to be like,
Has Rolex ever dropped?
No. That's the thing.
Always like an up. I know, that's what I'm saying. So why doesn't Rolex just...
They don't like discounting either. They just want, this is the value that they
make
think their price. This is what they think their watches are worth, and this is what they're going to sell them for, and they're not going to react to the public. He's just like, nah, fuck watches now.
He's like, the White Russians have taken effect. Right, Rob, come back and do an Instagram recommendation. We're up at we're 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and I've got 7% left.
Okay.
Instagram recommendations.
Okay, Michael, go for it.
All right, let's see. I've got... So do you want me to do the first one?
Yeah, save the other one for later.
Okay, yep, cool. Okay, so my Instagram recommendation is...
We're stopping up. We're wrapping up already.
Yeah, you buggered off, so... Michael's got 7% left. So
my Instagram recommendation is @TheLeanLook. TheLeanLook. And you could say it's possibly because I just followed him recently. He's just a recent follow. But yeah.
Did you see? I saw Big Dane, the watch vault, had a Rolex Explorer 2.
Yeah. Panna
Cotta dial. Didn't even know
cream
thing.
Yeah, 16,550.
$30,000.
Yeah. I knew those were rare ages ago, but they just wasn't known.
What? They're rare in Melbourne.
It's like that. It's like that watch that I serviced that looks like an oyster quartz, but it's mechanical. And there was
that's rare. That's really rare.
There's only like what?
2 of them.
15
Rolex rare is...
Yeah, but this is 50. There's like 1,500 of these made, right?
Yeah.
And still they're selling for under 20 grand. And I'm like, all right, eventually it's going to catch up and people are going to realize. But the 16550, the cream dial, that's rare.
I don't know.
It's rare. You just don't see them. I probably saw one when I was at the service center of those.
That's not rare then? You've seen it?
Yeah. In Australia.
I saw lots. Like over the 12 years working there, I saw a lot of watches come through.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Right, Rob, who you got?
Yep.
Hang on. No, I was gonna have had someone, but then I just checked and you've followed him already. A week ago, you weren't following him.
That's what he does, Rob. He just goes and
I thought once Michael gave me his one, I followed it, and then Michael's like, "Oh, it's not valid anymore."
No, I don't know. Keep going. Keep talking. Do a monologue. I've got to find my guy.
What's yours, Alex?
I'm going to go for one, which I kind of like, actually.
Mm-hmm. You
And
can't
it
lie.
is frets and dials.
Fret and dials.
Frets and dials.
Yeah, frets and dials. Yep.
As in guitar frets.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Pretty
are winging their way to the Slack group. Some cool
As we
watches in
speak.
there. I really like that Tudor Oyster Royal.
I love that first Tudor Oyster.
Vertex, very cool.
What's going on with the? Is he modifying some? He's putting some.
Oh, his bezels on the Rolexes.
Yeah, and Jubilee. Yeah. That's right. Yep. But that Tudor Oyster is
Beautiful.
royal with that. Yeah, beautiful.
That must be. That'd be like 34 mil or something, right?
I'm not sure. It's a bit smaller, but it's a good size.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
perfect.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Anyway, frets and dials.
yeah.
Go check them
Awesome.
out. Give them a follow, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think next time, actually, we should just throw some Instagram recommendations in throughout the duration of the podcast rather than waiting to the end. If you just have a general feeling like, oh, yeah, I was speaking to the guy earlier on, whatever. Yeah, let's do that.
Like I did with grey whiskey, my old mate grey whiskey.
Just like that, Michael. But that one wasn't valid, so you can't use that.
So, as you mentioned the other day,
Dave the cat's having sex with Esmeralda. Do you see that? Like, is this a? I mean, I'll do a.
This is a.
Oh no, wait, wrong shoulder.
stay square yourself in the ear.
Exactly.
What is it? What's in that thing? Petrol.
You didn't get that in the JCB episode, right?
Have you got that set to like hot, like stream? Like
Yeah, stream. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Dave, for fuck's sake.
All right, it's saying low
The
battery.
Randy bastard, honestly, Dave.
It's saying low battery.
Michael's going to drop it any second.
I know.
Yeah.
Rob.
Frets and dials. Maybe you were saying the other day.
Just say it, Rob.
You only get, okay, I'll say the thing anyway, but if you follow 1,000 people, you only get 50 of them that you actually see, right?
Yep.
So the more you follow, the less you see, which is why I don't like the whole following thing, because the more you follow, it just sucks. I'm getting less and less. Anyway, go and follow Horo_logical. I know you don't follow him. But I'm going to follow him.
Horo_logical.
Horological. Then we got that's original.
Simon Barnes.
I don't know what his name is.
I haven't found it.
Cool stuff.
I know.
Horo_logical. Huh.
But now I'm going to have to go and unfollow somebody else. So I keep the numbers
he's got
down.
great stuff.
Yeah.
Great dive watches.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I was looking at a Ploprov earlier, and it was like $9,000, and I was like, oh, if only I'd sold that Speedmaster.
No, you want the old Ploprov.
Yeah. This was an old
Yeah.
Ploprov. It was $9,000.
They're cool.
And the dial was all kind of bubbled like your
My Tudor,
shooter, yeah.
which I just sold, by the way.
No.
I've still got it here, but I think it's just sold.
They're such a legible watch. I serviced one of those old Plopros a while ago, and I put it on my wrist and walked outside in the dark to go shut the gates, and I was like, "Fuck me, geez, you can really see the time." Like it was crazy. Yeah,
Shut the gates. Why?
real.
Keep the dogs
We
in.
just shut the gates every night. The big gates that we
So
shut.
the swingers don't come in. Fair enough.
Jesus.
No, it's a good watch, that old Plopros.
It is a good
love
watch.
it. Love it.
Blanche Professional.
Bonjour.
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 Is it bonjour? I just heard it was
It's
blanche.
French for diver. It's the only thing I actually knew.
Oh, plongeur. I thought they were saying bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour.
How's it pronounced?
Comment allez-vous? Bonjour. How do you say it, Rob?
It's Blanche Professional, isn't it?
Plongeur.
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 Bonjour.
okay.
Okay.
Good job,
Bonjour.
everyone.
Good night. sorry?
No, good
We're
job.
done?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Bonne nuit.
Good episode, guys.
Stay on time.
No, all right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, Michael?
Go
Gonna
follow
click.
us on Instagram and review your watch.
if you want.
And if you want to join the Slack group, go.
It's a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, but come on, it's
You're
fun.
supposed to be selling it for fuck's sake.
It's,
Like how,
no, it is. It's got a lot of good.
the
conversation.
very
awesome.
minimum that I ask of you, Rob, is just to not fuck up what we're already doing. It's like you don't have to do
Email.
anything.
When I say nightmare, in a good way.
Email. Like
It's like a living nightmare. Like you're trapped there in a
like a
living
nightmare that ends up,
but in a
it ends
good
up-
way.
It ends up you having sex with someone in the nightmare. Yeah.
Not
Email
Dave the
us.
cat.
That doesn't
Email.
happen in the Slack group. There's no
Email.
having sex with people unless you like. You have to actually tell people that that's what you wanted in the Slack group before that. Yeah,
Contact any of us if you want to join the Slack group,
they won't want to now.
or email us at contact@fifthwrist.com. It's like, come along and see what it's all about. Yeah.
Leave a review on Apple. Review your watch, please, if you can.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Why not go and check out Milton Rum Distillery?
Yeah.
And we haven't tasted a rum yet. It might be terrible rum, but we're gonna take. Rob and I are gonna do a live tasting on the podcast. We're gonna make cocktails.
Mhm.
We're gonna drink it. We're gonna open
Cocktails.
it to a
Dark and
live.
stormy. That's it. That's my
a cocktail.
cocktail. Never.
We're gonna
Level.
drink shots. We're gonna drink go shot for shot until one of us passes out. We're gonna do cocktails. We're gonna do topical treatments for bunions. There's all kinds of shit we're gonna do, all with this rum. So yeah, tune in for that.
Bunions.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Yeah. That's been the best. Stay on time.
That was
Come
a good
on.
episode.
Stay on time, guys.
Still recording.
Stay on
I don't know
time.
where I need to find the stop button again.
Better
There you
find
go.
it. Yep.